Hey
Hello,
guys.
everybody.
Hey. We have an extra person here that's not normally with us.
Very
We
special
do.
guest.
We've got Ken,
You
who,
all asked for Ken.
yep, so he is here.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here.
This is fine. We give the people what they want, and what the people wanted was Ken.
They
Yeah.
did want Ken. They wanted Ken and his tail light.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh
The
gosh.
Taillight Whisperer.
Yeah, I think it was after the spaces the other day,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Like where all the
yes.
pictures were going up and stuff that everybody was like, please have him on.
Yeah, I got a lot. I got like 5 or 6 messages asking for him to come on.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's only a few.
That's a
Well,
lot.
that's just what she got. We all got a few.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. I haven't had any messages asking us to have people come on, so that's a pretty big deal, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like your debut on a YouTube show, right?
I'm very nervous.
Oh my gosh. You are not.
I tried to get ready with the spaces, but this is way bigger. I feel like I'm on David Letterman or something, but with 3 of you.
Well, we'll assure you our audience is nowhere near that.
No,
You're right.
No.
Ashamed to admit it.
Oh,
It's funny.
please don't be nervous.
no,
Yeah.
Okay.
don't be nervous. You should be nervous about our technology and our ability to control the show, but that's the only thing you should be
Yeah.
nervous about.
Yeah. So far, we are not echoing. We have not lost Wi-Fi.
It's amazing. Only
Feels
poor
like it's-
Julie.
I mean, it feels like it's pretty good sound and picture right now.
Okay,
I am not
Stop
dark.
jinxing us. Don't jinx us.
I knocked on wood.
Okay.
Hillbilly.
Hillbilly was one of the ones that messaged me about Ken.
Well, Hillbilly says 3. I'm only down 1. So
Stop
But it was a bit-
exaggerating, Hillbilly.
it was a big one. It was a tall boy.
So, hey, Ken, what I was always wondering, which I don't even know, is when did you start following this case and get into it?
Well, I didn't know anything about any of the pretrial hearings. I didn't know anything about all the stuff that was going on. I think I was probably watching another trial or something, and it
First trial or
Came up.
second?
the first one,
Okay.
because during COVID, I kind of got really interested in a lot of trials. I had
Yeah.
a lot of, we all had a lot of time, and for whatever reason, this one came up on my radar, and I started paying attention to it. And I really didn't pick a side early on. I just kind of was interested in this trial, and most of my stuff is really just I love the legal part of it, and how certain sides are going to try to tackle the Commonwealth or the prosecution and defense, and of course how the trial goes on. You start learning more about the case, and eventually you do pick a side, or maybe you say, hey, this convinced me or whatever. But so that's kind of how I got involved, and really I started learning more about it as it went on. Like I'd go on Facebook, and you start seeing these groups, right? And whatever, you just start kind of getting more involved, and that's how it started with me. Hold on just a second. I can't hear.
That was
Uh-oh.
me.
Okay, I
It was
can
me.
now. I can
Yeah,
now.
I muted it because my dog was barking, and then I started talking. Did you watch it on Law and Crime Report TV, or did you watch it with a content creator?
No, I watched it strictly on whether it be Boston. There was like a TV
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
network. There were some people in chat, stuff like that. But I never watched it through any other lens other than I kind of like treating it like I'm a juror almost. And
I do that
Yes,
too.
that's my
Yeah.
favorite.
it's hard to do that because eventually you do, like you go to Facebook or you go to X, and you start seeing things. But
Right.
no, I tried to find things. Like some days when I'm working, I'd come home at night and watch YouTube, and I try to find a channel that you could get updates with, and it was really hard because I had a really hard time finding someone that would kind of go over it in a way that didn't push it one way. Well, really, I don't even say one way or the other, because it was always one way.
I don't actually think there was anyone that you could have found that would go over it just down the middle. Honestly, I I can't even name one person that you would have been able to find if you know, like you trying to look, that you would be able to say, oh, this would be a good person to get. I mean, they're really, like you said, there was just one side, and that was everywhere.
Until much later, when people like the prosecutors or the murder sheet, you know, but that was like way down the road. In the beginning, I don't remember any.
No, and people like that, they weren't doing shows like he said, like to try to get like a recap of the case. Note my objection. It very down the, you know, she pretty much always called it like it was. She didn't do a lot of shows on it, I don't think. And hers are
wasn't she just in the second trial, or was she there for the first trial? I don't remember seeing her before
she was definitely in the first, because she definitely was, but she wasn't, you know, I mean, like he said, there was no one that was hitting it down the middle.
And it was so toxic.
They were, and it's not like I was going on any of these YouTube shows trying to find somebody to push me one way or the other. I was just, I just wanted to hear what happened that day, for instance. And I remember Canton Confidential had their thing, and they were close, I guess. I mean, they were probably better than anyone else.
Yeah. They did an okay job. That's true. They'd have, I think like both sides on or something.
Right. Yeah. They would have people just discussing it. So I would go to that quite a bit. But other than that, no, it was just me, and I want to put this out there. I'm no expert. I'm no law professor. I'm no anything like that. I'm just somebody who's extremely passionate, and I like trying to figure out how things work. In some of these trials, like the Murdaugh trial, for instance.
Yes.
I really, I definitely thought he was guilty, but at the same time, I'm like watching it as, and I think Lydia and I have talked about this, I kind of, part of me really would love to be an attorney, but I'm like, how is the defense going to present this where maybe they'll get an acquittal, something like that. And I really thought early on he might, but then they came out with that voicemail and it was over after that. I'm like, there's no way, but no, it wasn't like I was pushing one way or the other. It was just, I'm just real curious how the law works and and how these lawyers tackle things. And this Karen Reed case really caught me. And I was just amazed about a lot of things. So,
yeah. And I think the thing you picked obviously up on the most, the taillight, is, people don't realize it's really the main crux of the whole case, right? Because if that taillight's gone, she left it at the crime scene, so if nobody planted it, then there's no way around that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I honed in on. I mean, like I was telling you guys earlier, there's a lot of things. There's a particular person who I go back and forth with a lot that I should give credit to, because it really made me, try to debunk a lot of these crazy theories. And I just dug deep in a lot of things. But the taillight was the one that kind of convinced me that, I'm like, at this point, it's why even talk about all this other stuff, because I just knew after I learned what I learned, I'm like, it's, unless something happened before 507, then there's really no answer. So.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to start with the first video? And we can
so I figured I would start this with kind of, it wasn't what got me to start doing what I did, but when I did see this was one of the jurors that was on TMZ, I think. And when I first saw this, my stomach, you kind of get sick to your stomach, if you know what you know, and you're like, well, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, I figured it'd be good to start with this at least.
Okay, let me just really quickly remove this, because sometimes that interferes with what people can see. Okay.
One thing that I think that compels me is we did a lot of review of the tapes, and it seemed to me that the videos that we could see from the car after the alleged incident happened, that when we could see the taillight, it was lit up red where it shouldn't just have been red. So that leads to me a conclusion of, well, how come it's red in this video after the alleged, collision happened, and then it's not, it doesn't have any red pieces where it should be red.
I almost
Yes.
fell over when I heard that.
Yeah, so obviously you know how I felt when I heard that. Because, this was after the second trial.
Yeah.
And,
I think it was
and
5 minutes after the verdict.
It was really, it wasn't too much
Yeah, it
longer
was very
afterwards.
quick.
It was that night. It was that night.
But I don't look at this guy as he might be, but I don't really look at this guy as a free Karen Reed, not like the jury foreman or Polly. He seemed a little bit legitimate. And the fact that he brought this up to me was a big deal because it swayed him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if what I'm going to talk about tonight would have been in front of him before this, who knows? Maybe he would have changed his mind or something. You just don't know. But
I put this up because I just want to tell Lola to stick around because that's why we have Ken on here.
Right.
So she's saying that the footage showed the taillight still working after the incident, but the one in evidence was completely destroyed.
Right. And yeah. These are questions that I ask as many as you want. Hopefully I can, like I said, I'm not a Lexus expert, but I dug into this really deep, and I'm 100% convinced, or not convinced, but I'm just sure of myself. And
I bet we could shake you awake at 3 a.m. and you could tell us about those diffusers. So
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, I have to admit, but but anyway, yeah. So there's a picture. Okay. I guess there's some slides we can put up.
Yeah, let me.
And if somebody has questions in the chat, go ahead. I think somebody will be looking, and you
we'll
can stop me.
Yeah,
I'll feel free.
Yeah,
we for sure will.
Tell me if you want me to zoom in on that.
I think the next slide is zoomed in, but you can zoom in too. But either way, this is the first time we see the SUV. This is the day before. This is January 28th. I think it's in the morning when Karen was taking the kids somewhere. So we see the taillight. It's not damaged. I think the next slide, it's actually zoomed in a little bit more.
Okay, let me pull that one. Sorry, it just takes a minute to get it to max. There we go.
Yeah, so it's just zoomed in, and what you can see now, the headlights are on here. So this is during the day that she had the headlights on, because there's a video I posted we can show a little after this, but the diffusers, it's weird. This red lens is there, obviously, that it's not broken, but you see all the different colors. It's not red. It's like red, yellow, kind of a silverish color. But that's a diffuser. It's kind of a reverse shaped L. And of course, on the lift gate, you've got the diffuser as well, but that's not really part of the damaged taillight. But that's just the closer up picture, and everything's the way it should look. Now, here's
so you're saying this is the diffuser here.
Yeah. That's a diffuser. Now, so that little horizontal light at the bottom, like if you go down just below the red part on the right, move it over to the right a little bit, you're right there. So that's, look how far stretched out that is. Okay, so that's only 3 small LEDs. And if you go to the next image, I think maybe the next image, or let me see here.
Yeah, just tell me which one and I'll pull it.
Yeah, go to the next image.
Okay.
So look how small that is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is only 3 little bitty LEDs. And now this just goes to show you how the ring, this just shows you how the ring camera picks up light.
Oh, wow.
It's so distorted. And plus, if a car is moving, it makes it more. And so let's say the car was going 50 miles an hour, you would see like a streak of light.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that just shows you how small that really is. So when people look at this video of the ring camera, and sometimes that affects the red light, that affects that little light. And look, it's not as red as the other lights. So it's a little different color, but it just gives you a perspective of the ring camera is not this high definition camera. Now, this is the still shot from Trooper Paul doing his testing on Karen's SUV. So this is her driver's side taillight, undamaged. You can also see little LEDs at the bottom. He's got the brakes on. And you can see the lights on either side of the license plate. That's the reverse lights.
here and here.
Yeah, they're lit
Those
up
are the
because
backup lights?
Yeah, those are the backup lights.
Oh.
A lot of people didn't know that. That's the backup lights.
Yeah.
So if you go to the next slide,
Okay.
it is a video, I think.
Yes, it is. A3 is a video.
So this just shows her pulling out I don't even need to show this, but it just kind of shows that the headlights are on, because you can see the headlights like hit this little bush by the garage door. So as she's driving by, you can see the headlights hit the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You want me to reverse it a little bit?
It doesn't matter, but
Right
it just,
there.
that's why the diffusers are lit up. Without the headlights on, the diffusers aren't going to light up like the way they are. That's why there's that bright
Yeah.
color there.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to show people that, because I notice everything, and I saw that and I'm like, oh, the headlights are on.
So if the headlights weren't on, those diffusers would not be.
We'll see something later. It'll show you what it'll look like without them on. You can still see them, but they won't be that bright.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you go to the next video or the next picture. This is kind of Taillight 101 for dummies, which is me. But this is actually a vehicle that was in a parking lot that I parked next to. I had some other pictures, but so this is obviously parked. There's no lights on, but you can see the diffusers. Those are the behind the red lens. And then the blinker area is that clear area that's in the upper left-hand corner.
Gotcha.
And the little fins over there on the right, that's a part that Barrows said that was not on the SUV when he was testifying. I did highlight the little metal piece. You know, I put Carrie Roberts' name. Now she mentioned the metal piece was sticking out. They may get caught on someone's shirt or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only metal piece that is in that taillight. So I hate to say assuming, but to me, that would have to be the piece she's talking about. Now that could easily be moved. I think she described it as it being close to the blinker. I think she said a rectangle encasing. Well, that's what the blinker looks like.
Yeah.
But either way, that's that little metal piece, and it holds the diffusers in and actually goes horizontal across towards the lift gate. And that's the piece that was broken. It broke off at the bottom right-hand corner. So it could easily be moved around. So someone could have pushed it back inside, but the fact that she mentioned that leads me to believe that it probably was pushed back in at some point, but that's just a guess. But either way.
Wow. I don't think I ever noticed so it's just the bracket holding, like you said, it's holding these diffusers in.
Diffusers on.
Yeah, it's just like it's not a very stiff piece of metal. It's very loose. I mean, if you break it, I mean, it could be bent very easily, stuff like that. But that's just kind of a little tutorial. So now the next images we're going to get into is from the 507 Ring video, which is just flooded with stuff. I was like a kid in a candy store when I got to these videos. So anyway, the first part is on the left. So she's backing out of the garage. And this is from a very steep angle from the camera. There's a little bit of an angle so we can see the side of the undamaged taillight, which is the driver's side. So I just zoomed in and kind of showed you what it looked like. But at least it gave us a comparison to what the other taillight should look like, I'm guessing. So I took a still shot of that as she was pulling away after she had backed up, and she's kind of going toward the road.
I can pivot to zoom in a little bit.
So now just go to the next screen.
Oh, the next
yeah, just go to the next
slide.
Slide, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Any questions in the chat or anything?
I don't think so. Not yet, but Jeffrey says, why does she have to back out so far? There's plenty of room to turn.
Yeah, that's
obviously she didn't do that on any other day.
Yeah, I mean, we can speculate about that, but I'm trying not to speculate on any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I did,
she also was drinking, so it could have been that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
But either way, what I did is I reorientated. I guess you could say I inverted the backing up out of the garage to where it's in the same direction as the other one. So we can at least get a little bit of a comparison.
Oh, nice.
Now, the one from the garage, when she's backing up, is from a steeper angle. The one where she was pulling out towards the road is a little bit more of an angle because you can see more of the bottom side of the SUV.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it gives you a comparison of what
Mm-hmm.
you would think it should look like if it wasn't damaged, right?
Yeah, this is great. I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen it done like this.
Now, granted, I will, talking about the way the light does stretch a little bit with that Ring camera.
Mm-hmm.
If something is sitting still, you're going to get a better idea of what it should look like. So before she backed out, that's what it looked like on the right. She was literally moving here on the left, but you can see there's a pretty big difference. Now, if you go to the next slide,
Yeah. Yep.
it's the same picture,
Get that one.
but yeah, and somebody inverted. But all I wanted to do here is show a little perspective. So you know where that little side light is, right?
Yep.
So that's,
Yes.
And then the top right corner is red on the left one. And obviously it's red on the right one because there's more red. But it just kind of gives you a little perspective of the part of the tail light of where things are.
Yeah.
So if you go to the next slide.
I'm just going to do it this way instead of going back.
Yeah, just stay there and just go.
Yeah, because it's taken like too long to do it the other way.
So if you go, you see there's a part that's red on the top right.
Yes.
So it's not that I'm trying to create anything or I'm not Colleen Crawford and supposedly manipulating all the videos. But
so you say.
Yeah.
But
So
either-
then that little
now
piece
you
of
can go
metal-
back. You can go back to the other one. I don't know how easy it is for you to go back.
Yeah. Which one? The one we just had up before this one?
Yeah, with the little two lines. Yeah. So that at least shows you,
Yeah.
because you're looking down at a very steep angle. That camera is looking straight down, and that's where
Yeah.
that red piece would be. So
Mm-hmm.
it's there. So that kind of, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go to the next one.
Oops. So it would be this one.
Yeah. So that is, that's 5:45 when she had pulled in after when Carrie was behind her. It just gives you a view of her tail light there, the driver's side.
Okay.
It's not moving. Now the lighting here is weird, and we're going to talk about here in just a second. But you see the side light looks more white
Mm-hmm.
than it does yellow or red. But it gives you an idea of what an undamaged taillight looks like. And then the only one that really is very different is the one that's on the passenger side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the difference is obvious. Way too much. There should be a lot more red here.
Yeah. Now, once again, the red cover, we're going to see this later. It's very translucent. I mean, the diffuser light's different color. The red cover is different. So there's a lot of different colors going on here, but you can kind of make out what's going on. If you go to the next one, it's a video.
Oh yeah, I like this video. It's very high def.
Yeah.
Now what this is, you don't see any snow at all, right? Right here.
Right.
But if you click on play. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what that is the floodlight coming on.
Yep.
So that's you see how much brighter it is? I mean, it's like
Mm-hmm.
real bright. So this is going to kind of lead into some of the taillight parts when she's pulling away where you see white, where you see all these different colors and you're like, what's causing that, right? And this is a big talking point for a lot of people who are on the free carry and read side or who thinks she's innocent or whatever. But this floodlight is very bright.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, it's very noticeable.
Ken.
So if you get, yeah.
Tuesday asks, I'm curious if Ken thinks Karen intentionally bumped into the Traverse.
I really don't. I really don't think she. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Because I think if she did, it on purpose, she would have done it harder. But at the same time,
I'm not one of the ones that thinks she did it on purpose.
I don't think
she was too drunk.
Yeah, I don't think she did. I think she maybe just used it as a stopping point. She probably had the beeper thing going off, and she probably said, "I'll stop when it goes steady," because if that's what she's trying to do, she would have to like put evidence there. There'd have to be taillight pieces. I mean, I don't think she did. I don't think she did it on purpose.
I think if she did it, like you said, on purpose, she would have slammed into the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe, but I just don't think she did it on purpose. But anyway, that's a video that shows you when that light comes on, and it gets very bright. And this has something to do with what we're going to see in a little bit. So the next picture, I kind of drew a little, you can kind of see how bright it is. And then as you go towards the street, it gets much darker, obviously. And then you get to the street, and there's no light at all. So this is just that floodlight I kind of explained it in my spaces as like an eclipse, except for an eclipse is moving, but you can kind of see. I had a satellite video of the 2018 or whatever eclipse, but the white clouds just literally turn dark, and then they turn white again. So it's similar to what we're going to see on this next slide, which is a video. Yeah, I'm not really, I see there's some chat as far as, I'm not getting too much into the bumper tap because it's not really related to the taillight. I do have some pictures later on that I'll show. But anyway, so here's where we started. This kind of confused me a little bit because at the time when I was first watching the trial, I wasn't sure what the taillight was made of. I wasn't sure if it was bulbs, if it was what it was. But either way, if you play it forward, you can see how it's going to dissipate. It just kind of vanishes.
Yeah.
So all that is that's just a reflection off the highly reflective, like inside of the taillight, because it's very highly reflective with all that, with the red gone. And the fact that it starts out white and then it slowly dissipates and then it turns black. If there were any lights on in there, it would stay that way. It wouldn't vanish. If you back this up and look at the left tail light,
you can see that.
Nothing changes with it. It stays the same. So obviously something's going on with the right tail light. And people say, well, it's white because the diffusers are there, and I've heard that a lot.
But you can even see here. I mean, look, this is all the way around.
Yeah.
There's that brightness, and then this
it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the difference.
But see here, one of the problems I had with this is in pretrial hearings, Hank Brennan even called it like a bulb, like it's white because there's a white bulb. But the Commonwealth never did anything to explain any of this. Why, they just assumed it was white because most older vehicles probably do have a white bulb or some kind of bulb that would make it look different if the lens wasn't there. Either way, it shouldn't be white.
Right.
Whether it's a white bulb or not, it shouldn't be white, period.
Right.
But this just explains why it was white. And as you pull further towards the road, it's just going to go black because there's not as much light from that floodlight. So therefore it's not going to reach that area. And it's,
yeah, you can see how much darker it is there.
Yeah. So it's just, I hate to say common sense, but it's, if you really, that's why I put the video up of that floodlight coming on, because you see how bright it got. It was, it totally changed things. And any kind of a light, which is why I put up this next picture here. So there's the 5:07 a.m. It's white. You do see a little red, yellowish strip to the right of it.
Right.
And then there's red. So that's actually a piece of diffuser, believe it or not. And we'll go over that.
Where are you saying the diffuser?
I'll show you that in a second.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So then over to the right, you've got the 825,
Well checked.
dash cam,
Mhm.
and that's a combination of snow and a reflection. The fact you can see that little black line kind of in the middle, we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But if you look at the Sallyport video down bottom left, you see that black line.
Yeah, right
But
there.
that's a taillight, obviously, with no red lens. Now that black area is the blinker. People say, well, why is that black? Well, it's got like a black lining around it.
This?
And yeah, see on the left where it's that little black hole is?
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
That's the blinker. So that's the same thing. It's got like a little glass cover on it, looks like, but it's got like a black kind of an encasing underneath it and around it. So you start thinking about lighting and why things look different. And, the Sallyport probably has a very bright fluorescent bulbs, tubes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one in the state crime lab is very bright. So anytime there's light, you're going to see a whitish reflection. When there's no light, if it's out pitch black dark, you're not going to see that.
Right.
But the fact that it faded away, that's what that was.
Gotcha.
So then we get to the next one, and this is pretty much what's solidified it for me, because this just tells me that it's a busted a diffuser.
Right.
People can argue about this all day, but it's damaged diffusers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people who think Karen is innocent will look at that little strip of light on the right and say, well, yeah, but that shouldn't be there if the diffusers are broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you see that little horizontal one on the
Right.
bottom there. But anyway, at that point, I'm looking at this, and this is before I even knew anything else. I'm like, well, I didn't know there were diffusers at the time, but this really got me researching, and I'm like, this is stupid. Something had to cause this. So anyway,
Well,
the next, go
and
ahead.
now we know that Karen confirmed this in a text message and said, my taillight was already broken, like at the exact moment that this video was taken. So
Yeah, there was testimony from, I think, Jim McCabe saying that in one of the earlier phone calls before Karen had ever left the house, she had said her taillight was cracked or whatever,
Yep.
whatever terminology people want to
Yes.
use.
At
It's damaged.
453, I believe it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and then we go to the next slide. And this is just an image I'd taken from another Lexus from the same year, the same model. And it just shows you what it should look like. It's kind of like it. So when you go to the next slide, it'll be Karen's vehicle from the January 28th, but that was in the daytime. So when you look at daytime videos compared to dark, there's a little difference, because the way the light hits things. But either way, there's a good comparison of what it should look like, right? The left one looks like that, so there's no difference. But that's the diffuser. That has nothing to do with the red lens.
I just wanted to show Karen's message. All you got to do is believe her.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, she knew it was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think people get into the semantics of the terms she used. Like people say cracked, and they're like, well, cracked doesn't mean. But, who knows what people use. I mean, cracked.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, by the definition, maybe whatever.
Sure.
But
yeah, I mean, when she says that, she's saying she cracked it on John's car.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's what wants everyone to believe, which is preposterous to anyone who believes that because it's on video.
Right.
And she didn't
So
break her taillight, and there's no taillight on the ground, and it was physically impossible, which we all saw. So there's only one other way that her taillight was broken.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I look at this. Really is what got me extra curious to say, okay, I want to learn how this taillight works, because so many people have not, and they just still go with whatever they need to go with to convince themselves. But I wasn't trying to convince myself one way or the other. I just want to know how it worked.
Mhm.
And then it led me to my conclusion of that if anything was taken off this taillight, it had to be before this.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we get further into this, you're going to see it's the same as it is in the state crime lab. I mean, it's there's no different.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
anyway,
you can even see,
yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you can even see the shading here. Like, you know, this looks a little lighter red, almost pinkish. That's how this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got the yellow to orange, basically, kind of looking.
Yeah,
And
it's obviously the top image is way more high definition.
right. But I mean, it's just,
yeah. But it gives you, you know, it's supposed to be lighting up. I mean, it's
right.
There should not be a black gap. You know, maybe somebody put electrical tape over the car and then took it off, but I don't think so.
Sneaky Proctor.
Or Colleen probably did it.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
So we go to the next. The next one is the same, but it's with Karen's. Just there, D51, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
So that's Karen's SUV on the 28.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I'm on
No,
the
yeah,
wrong.
you had it right.
B9?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Sorry. Lost track of
So
what
that's
number it was
pretty
at.
much the same, but that's the same vehicle from the same exact spot in the driveway. It's just that one is during the daytime and one's during the night. So some of the things show up a little differently, like obviously the chrome, because it's daylight out. So some things are just going to reflect differently. It's a good example of what daylight does. You can see the blinker area. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now it does have the plastic cover on it. In the Sally Port, it didn't. And you see the side light over there on the right. But obviously what's different, the thing that really sticks out is that black gap. And that's the diffuser. It's not there. I shouldn't say it isn't there. There are some parts that are there. They're just not connected to a light source. So therefore they're not going to light up.
Gotcha.
And we'll go over that in a little bit. So the next one, here we go. So that's an image that Alan Jackson put up during the closing arguments, where he was suggesting to the jury that the diffusers would be black if they're not working, but obviously this is lit up bright red.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and he's a good attorney. The Commonwealth never educated any juror in either trial why this looked like this. Right. So good for him. Good for him for exposing that. But if you go to the next one, it's a video of him. I'm gonna be back in just a second to show that video.
Okay.
Folks, understand something. If any part of that diffuser portion of the taillight is broken, there is no light. It doesn't illuminate at all. It's just black. Let's take a look at a couple of photos. At 5:07 a.m. at One Meadows, that's the photograph on the left. What do you notice about the right taillight? It's completely illuminated.
Yep. Ken is not back.
Is that not the same picture?
Yeah, that's the picture Ken just showed.
Oh, it looks different.
Yeah.
Have we lost Ken?
He said he would be right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back. So. Yeah, so he used the picture where her brake lights were on.
Right.
Or the still shot of her brake lights being on.
Yeah, sorry, I had to.
You know, that is very unfortunate, right? Because that is what that juror just said. And this is the picture he was talking about. So, of course, he was listening to Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? I just came back.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, what I did is just took a still shot of that, which he showed. And that is obviously when the brakes are lit up, because you can see that light up top.
Yeah.
That is notifying people the brakes are on as well if you're driving behind them or whatever.
Right.
But either way, so that's the fact that Alan Jackson, and he did this in both trials, but a little differently. I think in the second trial, we knew a little bit more about the diffusers. So that's why he brought that up.
Yeah.
But you know, no one talked about this at all. And I'm sitting there watching this and I'm just knowing why it lights up red, right? And I'm like, this is so frustrating. And then a lot of people who think Karen is innocent, they will say that won't be red if the diffusers are there. Like their idea is the diffuser has to be there for that to be red.
Right.
So anyway, let's move on to that one. So all this does is show us. I literally took these screenshots, 2 seconds apart maybe. And there's the one up top is just before she braked, and then she brakes, and then she takes her foot off the brake. Mm-hmm. And of course, you see the black gap, and you see the brake light. And some people will say, "Well, gee, why? Once again, why is it red like that?" And we're going to learn here pretty quick. The next one is a video, and I want to give this guy credit. His name is Be in Trouble. He has a YouTube channel. He's a free Karen Reed person, and he did a lot of work. He probably bought 5 of these taillights and damaged them and everything else. But listen to what he said. Look at what he shows here.
And then, of course, brake lights. I'll show you the brake lights. Brake lights have I think 8 separate LEDs inside of it. So when the brake light comes on, these separate LED lights up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 LED. But that's only on with the brakes, and you can tell when the brakes are on.
So
you proved your point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sent him emails. Like I said, do you realize I don't think he was doing this knowing that Alan Jackson was going to say what he said.
Right.
Right.
But there's no diffuser here. There's no red lens here. It's just strictly a bald tail light with the LEDs obviously are still there because you can't take them off. And look how red it is. I mean, it lights up bright red. Now pay attention to those 2 little LEDs up top.
Here.
Yeah.
If the diffuser was on, the tail light here, it would light up like you see it on the undamaged one we showed earlier. But either way, he had taken all the diffusers off because he wanted to show everybody what the tail light looked like with the brakes on. So when you go back to Alan Jackson's description, of course it's going to be red because there's 8 red LEDs there. And then when you talk about the ring camera, how distorted it really is, that's why it's so bright. So anyway, that's another picture that's just a little bit further away. The 2 lights up top. So these are LEDs that are built into the tail light, and these are supposed to light up the diffusers. So the diffusers are all clear plastic with these little dimples on them. They have no light bulbs in them whatsoever. What they do is absorb the light from these little LEDs, and it lights them up. There's 2 little LEDs that are not working. See the little holes in the bottom corner?
Here?
That's
here?
where LEDs would also be, but because that metal piece was broken out, that made those not work. So either way, and that's why you don't see any light. And we'll get into that, but that's something that's pretty important because that's what lights up the LEDs. There's no light, there's no LEDs in the diffuser itself. They're just clear plastic.
Okay, so they just absorb the light is what you were saying.
The diffuser, and we'll see that in a little bit. There's a video that he made that shows how they work. And either way, the brakes, this specific session is about the brakes. So I'm going to try to stay on topic.
This is a bunch of boy stuff I'm trying to wrap my mind around.
Yeah. So if you see here, obviously this is before and after. He could hook things up and make the brakes come on. He could do other things, but that's just 2 pictures that are side by side. Now the next picture shows you what it looks like when the red lens is on. Now, I drove by this vehicle last week. I had to X out the license plate, but you can see where the brake LEDs are. Now, if you zoom in a little bit, this is a car that doesn't have its headlights on. So you can see the diffusers aren't quite as bright, right? They're a little bit, a little darker than you saw on Karen's at the January 28th. But they're the brakes. The brakes are on there. They're sitting at a stoplight. So, of course, the one he showed that he ripped the red lens off and diffuser, but you can see they're lighting up red and the diffuser has nothing to do with it. So that's the brake lights. That's why Alan Jackson put that up there, because he wanted to. Now we go back to that video I showed right out of the gate with the juror. That convinced him.
Yeah.
He was confused. It wasn't like, I don't want to say it convinced him, but he was confused. He's like, why is it red? No one educated him. If he's watching this, if anyone knows that guy on chat, and you want to send him a text or something, he can watch this, and I hope he doesn't feel too bad about his.
I don't think he will, Ken.
Well, he basically, yeah, I mean, he pretty much quoted Alan Jackson word for word almost.
Yeah, and in his defense, he couldn't do what I did. The jurors can't do this. They can't go do the research. They can't, so maybe he was thinking like me. He's probably thinking, why is this red? And if he's thinking it's an older car, like, I had an older vehicle, it had red bulbs or different color bulbs. I mean, but those jurors probably didn't know a lot of it. I guarantee you they didn't know a lot of this stuff, because early on I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I mean, I knew it made me think and say, why is it doing this or why is it doing that? But that's why that brake light lights up the way it does. And if he would have known that, if the Commonwealth would have had an expert come in and plug in this tail light, show the jury how everything works. And this is only one part of the evidence. I realize because I get in arguments with people on our own side with this, and I agree, there's other evidence that still proves, let's say that this didn't exist. Let's say the ring camera never existed and we didn't see this. There's still enough evidence that I think that would prove the case. But to me, this is what kind of solidified it for me.
Yeah, and it's one of the biggest talking points, one of the biggest points of contention everybody has, right? The taillight.
Well, and it kind of gets to the point. So the first trial especially, it was either the taillight was planted or Karen hit John, because that's the way, and it was taken from the Sally Port. I mean, it was all set out by the defense that this is how it happened. So to me, it's like, if you can show that taillight at One Meadows in the morning, is where we're getting to here in a little bit, then it had to be taken before that. So then you're stuck with, if I'm a prosecutor, I'm telling the jury early on, hey, we're going to show you this taillight was gone at 5:07. So you're going to have to, in your own mind, you're going to have to figure out a way somebody went and took that taillight and took it over to 34 Fairview.
And planted it under snow.
Yeah, that's all. That's a whole different video there, right?
Brushed all the footprints away in front of the media.
Yeah, and if you notice how I put that, I didn't say it wasn't planted. I said it's got to be taken from the car before 5:07.
Right.
So yeah, somebody can still say, because there is a guy that I argue with all the time who's got a theory that somebody came to Karen's garage and grabbed the taillight pieces before 6 o'clock or before 5 o'clock or whenever she left. That's what he thinks.
Well, remember we read that tweet last week where someone says that Jen was already at One Meadows.
Yeah.
When she was lying in wait for the taillights.
Yeah.
And she was at One Meadows with Mrs.
But at least as a juror, you put them in a spot where you say, look, if this is planted, it had to be before this. So if you guys want to deliberate and try to convince each other that somebody broke in the garage and did whatever they needed to do to frame her, go ahead. But
well, Karen Reed is that important, Ken, that this giant coordinated effort, including breaking into the garage like Tom Cruise in a movie, was necessary. So
so this I kind of forgot where we were here. So was this D?
Yeah, this is D. Do you want me to
Okay.
go back to something else?
This is good. So this is the
Okay.
state crime lab. So I'm getting into what the state crime lab had. And if you want to zoom in a little bit,
Yeah.
this is really important. So you see on the bottom left, just below the blinker, and it kind of goes to the right towards that metal piece. That is a piece of diffuser that is still on the taillight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you go up from there towards the top, just right of the blinker, there's no diffuser there. If you go just right of that, just right of the metal piece, you can see diffuser. So that goes up to the top. It's attached to the top where those two little LEDs were.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that piece of diffuser is intact and it would light up because it's attached to a light source.
So this bumpy, I'm describing it in my terms, this bumpy piece, it should be also here.
Right. That's
Okay.
broken off. That came off. Now,
Okay.
the only thing that would light up in this situation is the piece that's attached to the top of the tail light. So that
here.
diffuser goes down about 3/4 of the way, and it would go down to where that metal piece had broken off, and then it would shoot over to the left underneath that other piece of diffuser. So that bottom piece is gone.
Okay.
Now the brake lights would be down there. So they would still work because there's nothing that would make them not work. But so if you go to the next picture.
This is D1. Okay, so I need to go to D2.
Yeah. So I'm just going to kind of label things. So there's the metal piece.
Okay.
That broke. Now you can see how it's kind of pushed in down to the right. That could have easily been sticking out. That to me, that's what Carrie described.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like tucked in almost.
Yeah, it looks like it's tucked in, but
it looks like it's pushed back in.
It's attached up to the top. That's where it's attached, but it could easily be moved because when the guy broke the taillight, the guy from the YouTube video, he was moving that thing around.
So it's just flimsy.
Yeah, but you can see the diffuser.
Oops,
all that stuff. So go to the next one.
Okay. So D3.
So this little piece here is interesting. So if you listen to a lot of people who support Karen, they will tell you this is a screwdriver mark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing my words very carefully here. But
wow,
if you look at the bottom of that metal piece, where that is, it's broken off. It is. It's exactly where that little scratch is. So
yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You could speculate here. You could say, what makes me believe is this was dragged across there. So it either got maybe caught on his clothing or something, and it's being pulled towards the front of the car, and then it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So something.
Yeah, it does line up. You're right.
Yeah. It lines up.
Which is what would happen if the vehicle were going in reverse.
Right. Now, it could be from something else. It could be maybe the cocktail glass or maybe his belt. Who knows? I mean, it could be a screwdriver. I'm not saying it's not a screwdriver.
Sure.
I'm just saying that there's evidence here that it quite possibly could be that broken off piece that this lines up exactly with.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody wants an
explanations,
right? It just happens to be in the same spot, right? and is it a Phillips head? Is it a flat head? I mean,
I can't. Yeah.
So if you go to the next picture, so here I just highlighted the diffuser that was still there.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the bumpy stuff.
Yeah, wherever there's dimples, like you guys have dimples, and it's next to your.
I don't know, Ken. That looks like a dog claw to me. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it kind of does now that I think about it.
It actually really
kind of looks like a tiger claw.
Yeah, it does.
But that's the piece that's there. Now this is very important because this is where it kind of becomes very obvious. So you go to the next, skip over the next one and just go to
This one,
yeah.
D5.
Yeah. So that diffuser would light up because it's hooked up to that little, remember those two little lights that were up top?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's why you see that little slither of light from the 507 ring video.
And then
of course the little side lights, the one on the right. Now there's a video that Aiden had put up that Karen had sent him saying, this is how I know the taillight was intact, because that little horizontal light would not be on if the red lens is there. Or excuse me, it would be on if the red lens is there. But we know it wouldn't be because we have all these videos of this guy testing the taillight when the red lens is gone. But that's what that is. This is kind of a little, you know, it's blurry, but that's exactly why that little light is there, because that diffuser is still there. And so many people on the people who think Karen is innocent will say that shouldn't be lighting up because if none of it will light up. Well, that's just not true. Some of it will.
So it's only because this piece is attached up here, like it has a connection, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. There's an LED up top that would light that up, and I'm going to show you in the next picture. So there it is. So he bought a few of these taillights and he damaged them, and his goal was to try to make it. His goal was to try to make this look identical to what they had in the state crime lab. Okay, that's what he said, and I think I've got it somewhere. But this is a taillight where the diffusers are damaged. You can see there's the light up top on the damaged diffuser. It's not going down because there's nothing there.
Yep.
And the one on the right, obviously, goes down 3/4 of the way or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you see in the driveway at 507. That's almost identical.
Yep.
And he thinks Karen is innocent. This guy?
He does, yeah. Now, a lot of these videos he's taken down. I hope because of I was never mean to him. I just told him, I said, do you realize some of the stuff you're showing proves just the opposite?
And
it's almost like
down.
It's almost like he had a confirmation bias where he had a goal. He already knew what he wanted.
Right.
So he's doing these experiments, and he's going to a different part of the trial with this. He's saying like, I don't know. I think here he's like saying they're talking about there's white bulbs, and he's showing that it's not white bulbs.
Yeah, but it's like when Arca did the Rescue Randy video. I mean, maybe that was his intention, but the result is they're actually showing exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, this is identical to what you see at 507.
Right.
And at that point, I'm like, well, the taillight's the same. I mean, now I wasn't going to go buy a bunch of these taillights. He did. So he did all the work for me. But you see the little side light over there, and the red lens is gone.
Yeah.
It's not on there.
Yeah.
So then you go to the next slide.
Lydia, can you go to the next slide?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Which one is it?
It is. It's got.
I got it. I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just having to
sorry.
Scream across the house for someone to brush their teeth.
I get it. Believe me.
So is anyone asking any questions? Let me see. I'm in chat.
Are we here? So. We're here, right? D62. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what it's supposed to look like, with the diffusers intact. And no red lens. This is no red lens. He's taken the red lens off.
He's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. So this is an undamaged diffuser. So if the red lens is gone,
right,
it's still going to look like this. So for the diffusers to be broken, you had to go through the red lens to break the diffusers.
Right.
So that bumper tap in the driveway, there's no way that, I mean, I know it didn't even touch. I mean, so no one has to fight with me over this, but even if you think it touched,
Yeah.
and Alan Jackson said it was only cracked, you still have to get through that to get to these diffusers and damage it the way it did with that metal piece sticking out. And so there's no way the bumper tapped. So for the people who think, well, she hit his car and that's why that black gap is there, it's impossible.
Yeah,
So
and I
anyway.
mean, we talked about this a little bit last week. You know, ARCA, when they were saying they weren't even taking into account the bumpers potentially being able to, or the lights being lined up or anything. They
Right.
just flat out, just based on the speed alone, you know, they said there's no,
Right.
ARCA even agreed, there's no
Yeah.
way that that tap would have broken
Yeah,
the
that's
tail light. It
eliminated.
wouldn't, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
eliminated. It's a fact of life that did not happen.
Right.
So if people are still riding that horse, it just didn't happen.
Let them keep riding it.
So why did they never show a picture of the original broken taillight powered up? I don't know. That's a good question, because I've asked that. To me, that was a big blunder by the Commonwealth, and of course the defense didn't do it because it would have hurt their case. But I think the Commonwealth just thought they had it no matter what. I think they just figured with all the other evidence, which I think is important, it just supports one another. But for a guy like me, if I'm sitting on that jury and somebody says, they show me all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, now I'm left with this thing had to be taken before this time. I'm like, that didn't happen. You know, at least I would be like, and who knows, there could have been, I know there was a female juror that said she was looking for something and couldn't find it, and that's why she didn't change. But who knows, it could have been this. I just know
she ended up saying what she was looking for. It was
she did?
something about a timestamp on a video or something. I think it was a timestamp. She wanted a timestamp on the Sallyport video. It was something that didn't even make any sense. You know what I think, not to interrupt just for a second, I feel like it's so funny. I thought everyone knew, which I guess taking it for granted, that your taillight would still look like it did when she was leaving, right? You know how the juror said it still lit up?
Right.
I just assumed, I just thought everyone knew that. Like, I think that's part of the problem. I think, you know, unfortunately expected people to, you know, like.
I agree. I think we knew.
Yeah.
But we knew, but I know because I got to do this.
Yeah.
Now, even if I didn't do this, I would be, why is it black?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's the job of the Commonwealth to educate the jurors of that, and they didn't do it. So that gives you an out. It's like, okay, well, let's say you get somebody who's just a sarcastic, whatever, a jerk, and they're like, you know what, you didn't prove this to me, so I'm going to vote not guilty. You know, to me, one of the easiest things to do, because all they had to do is, like this guy did, just plug it in.
Yeah,
they could
plug
have
it
even,
in. Yeah, they could have done it in the
Yeah,
courtroom.
I never even thought of that during the, you know, to having to have to do that, which is interesting.
Or not only that, they could have put it back on her car.
Right.
Driven out of One Meadows at 5 in the morning with a Ring camera on and say, look, it looks the same. You know, they didn't do any of that. They didn't do anything that would prevent Jackson from doing what he did in closing arguments.
That's a great idea. I wish they would have done that.
Yeah, and then driven an intact vehicle also through the Ring video at One Meadows, just to show the difference and
the comparison.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, hindsight's 2020, so this is easy looking back. But if you look back at some of the things that probably really lost people, if you look at the key cycle presentation, that was just like mind-numbing, you know, so much data. And then the matching the pieces of glass and the taillight pieces, and there was so much time spent on that, when just a demonstrative of these things that you're showing here would just, I mean, I think it would just sink into so many people, on top of all of that highly technical data. It would have been such a great visual.
Yeah, I don't know how the defense would have tackled this. I mean, you would have to have an expert. You know, I couldn't get up there because then they would look at my LinkedIn page and say you were playing golf somewhere, you know, whatever. But
or you were mean in 4th grade, or
whatever. But this doesn't take an expert, really. I mean, it may take an expert to explain some things. But really, this is just common sense stuff, and I learned some things from this because I didn't know, early on. Okay, here, I do have a video that we'll show later. We don't have to, but in the first trial, when Trooper Paul was being on his examination from the Commonwealth, he was asked about the lights, and he did say they were LEDs. Yes. He said they're not bulbs, they're LEDs. But that's the only thing they discussed about the taillight. That was it.
And Trooper Paul's testimony in hindsight, if you go back and watch it, and I have a video where I lined it up with Alan Jackson questioning him about what actually happened with John, and then I spliced in the ARCA video. If you put all of those things together, Trooper Paul's testimony was so important, which is probably why it got so much hate on the internet, where people were just determined to attack him instead of what he was saying. His information was so valuable.
No, it was fine. I think it's just the way he presented it, which they attacked. It was kind of like he seemed a little docile maybe in the way he was doing things. But then if you get somebody like Lapisato up there, let's say he had that personality, right? Where he was like, this is, now I think that was one of the issues with a lot of the Commonwealth witnesses is they were just normal. They weren't playing a game. They were just answering questions. And a lot of this has to do with, the defense used a lot. They didn't have their experts do any of this, right? They didn't show ARCA do any of this stuff. And they just used the Commonwealth experts to try to win arguments by pushing them into a corner or whatever, But either way, I'm getting a little bit off track, but let me, so go to the next picture. This is just more of a comparison from the Be in Trouble guy, who I love giving credit to.
No.
I just think he was right there. So this just shows, you can see how it's a little bit thicker up top and how it tapers.
Yeah.
Now it's not exact, but it's pretty damn close, right? You look at a diffuser where they're working, you look at Karen's SUV on the 28, you look at 507, that's the same taillight. I mean, I don't know how much, some people may say, well, what about that little light? Now, granted, you got to remember, you're looking at a ring video from about 40 feet away.
Right.
So some things are going to blend and they're not,
But that side light is so interesting. So I never noticed that was those 3 little dots.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, Lydia. I never realized. I thought this was all like one.
Me too.
No. Yeah.
And it shows you the motion. That this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion actually causes that to stretch out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because people will use that as a defense to say, well, this is. But it just, you can see in the pictures whether its taillight's not moving up top of the exact size of that.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's new to me.
You have an honorary PhD in taillight. I'm just going to announce that here.
Yeah, you guys are, I may have to get a degree. I'll go back to college. Yeah. Like Shaquille, he gets a degree from.
Right. You just tell us what college you want it from.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to start doing that. I'm just going to ask.
So the next one's just a little bit closer image of the same thing. It just shows the diffuser. That's there, and that's why it would light up. It just points to those different parts that are the same. And some people are a little bit confused about the orientation of the taillight too. They may think this little strip of light is actually somewhere else. They're like, wait a second, what is that it? But that's it. That's where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it would look more like, I don't know, like looking at this, it looks more like you're seeing the side. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Rather than,
it does.
And it does. If you look at, I'll show you some other pictures where it is kind of on the side. It kind of curves and it kind of starts wrapping around, and it's not perfectly like a 90-degree angle, even though you think it is. It's
more like a,
But that is that piece of light there. So anyway, the next one is a little different piece here. This is I say State Crime Lab. This is So this is interesting. I should have put the video up, but I'll talk about it. So this is an area, if you remember in the first trial, Yannetti was cross-examining Ashley Valier. And he said, there was a piece missing that was never recovered. And he pointed this area out. And she said, yeah, but this was recovered. I don't know why they didn't put it back on the tail light, but this is the blinker cover. And she testified saying, yeah, that's missing. Maybe they just didn't know that's what that was.
In the first trial?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because he even, I've got the video. I forgot. I probably have it somewhere in there, but anyway, that's what that is. I mean, it's obvious that's what that is. I mean, you can, you can see the curvature, on the left, you can see.
Yeah.
Now
you
in
can see the little lines here,
in the Gretchen Voss audio where Karen says she plucked pieces out.
Yes.
And you can also kind of see that all of the cracks come together in a single point, right?
Yeah, I do have I mean, I'll show you later. We've got a picture.
Yeah, I mean, look at here's the, and then
like where those lines cross.
That's what that is. Yeah.
You can tell that's
so I do have the video. So click.
Oh, good.
So go to, we can skip over. So see where the D 6.2.
Okay. This?
No, down below it.
Oh.
That one.
Yeah,
9.2. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
So play that video. So.
Okay.
You would agree with me that there's one section of that tail light that was missing completely, correct?
Correct.
And that missing section is noticeably visible in your reconstruction, is it not?
Yes.
And do you still have that laser pointer there?
I do.
Would you please point to the section of taillight that's missing? Okay. Appears to be a hole on the upper left side of that exhibit.
Is that a question?
Yes, it actually was.
Okay.
I said right or correct, but I didn't.
Yes.
Okay. And you would agree with me, and if we could zoom back out, Mr. Bates. You would agree with me that the portion of taillight that you did not have was strictly on the rear side of the taillight, if I can call it that.
I am not sure what orientation that goes on to a car.
Okay. But in any case, to this day, you do not know where the pieces that make up that hole are or what happened to them, correct?
I do not.
Let me have a moment.
Oh my God.
So the second trial, I don't even think this. Yeah, I don't think second trial this even came up.
Yeah, it didn't come up.
But I thought it was. I don't know what the relevance is. I think maybe because I mean, think about it. If you hit John, you drive off from there, and you go back to One Meadows, then you get in your car and you go back looking, and you come back, and then you go to Dighton. Well, yeah, there may be some pieces that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but in a case of everything is a conspiracy, that obviously they love saying that. And I'm sure Yannetti knew what that was and that it was the cover that was missing. So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. The
where's this, right? Yeah. And they didn't have the Gretchen Voss thing in the first trial to say she plucked pieces out, right?
Right.
So if you go to the next image, this kind of shows the taillight that's put back together. That one, yeah. So this, you can see like where the blinker, you see some clear plastic kind of where the blinker is, where it broke off. We could toggle back and forth. We don't have to, but Karen mentioned that in her Gretchen Voss thing, she plucked some pieces out.
Yes.
Of an encasing. The only really deep encasing area would be the blinker area with that cover missing. And if you look at those two little pieces at the bottom where they're curved, the red pieces, those were never recovered. So, those could have fallen out somewhere. They could have, who knows? We don't know. They just weren't recovered at 34 Fairview. So if you look at really what was not recovered, it's very little.
Very little, yeah.
There's a chunk from that blinker area that You can go to the next picture. It's a little different angle. It's more of a top angle.
It's a really small amount.
What about that one with the ruler, Jenny?
Oh,
the one before
yeah. Did we see this one?
Yeah.
That's the blinker cover. Yeah, look at that. That gives you an idea of the size of it. So that is roughly 5 inches, probably.
I just can't get over how they come together at what looks like a center point of an impact, right? Like right where that cross happens, it looks like that's where force is being built.
It could have been, yeah. And if you look at that chunk that's missing,
mm-hmm.
You know, that could have been one of the pieces she plucked out. We don't know, but it's clear. She did say red pieces were missing. She didn't say she plucked out red pieces. She just said red pieces were missing. She didn't say the color of the pieces she plucked out, but she did say it was in an encasing. So I'm just, you know, that area would be
right.
More
How in the world
area.
was this unchallenged that this was just missing?
I don't know. You know, they didn't bring it up in either trial. They showed it, obviously, because this comes from the trial. Evidence that was found. But for whatever reason, in the state crime, you know, everybody makes mistakes, you know, and it's like, I think Lydia and I were talking about this, or maybe Truth. It was Truth, actually. We were trying to remember Maureen Hartnett's testimony where she swabbed the taillight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She used one swab, and she swabbed like a bunch of different areas, and she didn't even know what really was the exterior part of the taillight. She swabbed a diffuser. Okay. She used the same swab to swab the red plastic part. She didn't use different swabs. She didn't know what really was, how the taillight was, what was supposed to be the out part of the, you know, the inside.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So one of the problems was, so think of this, if his DNA was on the inside of the taillight, like under the red lens, how do you, as a defense person, you can only say it was planted at that point, because how does it get under the red? Now, the problem was that she used one swab, so we don't know where that came from. We don't know if it came from the outside or the inside.
Right.
So to me, that's a mistake. She used, but then again, she didn't know what the taillight should have looked like. She was assuming that one of the diffusers was an outside piece.
Mm-hmm.
And it came, I actually, I recorded that. I don't have it here, but you know, to me, that's a mistake, but she didn't know. You know, she probably thinks, I think she did it in the Sally port where she took the swabs,
right.
or I don't know where she did it, but it seems like to me, if you know how the taillight is made up, you take a swab from inside and then a swab from outside, and then you say, well, because if his DNA was on the inside part, it's hard to get there. You can't say that was from washing a car, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So I consider that a mistake, but they probably didn't think of it then.
That's so funny though, that this was shown, and like Gennetti's asking, this
know.
part is missing and you never recovered it. And then they,
I don't know if this was shown in the first trial. I just know that it was evidence that was there, that somebody recovered it, and they obviously put it back together,
and they still got 9 guilty. Much smarter jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, much smarter jury. But I really think, I mean, that is a very compelling picture. That's all I'll say about where those lines come together. That is compelling.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to guess, hey, where did the
point of impact? Yeah.
So if you go to the one on the far right there,
this one? Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's just a different angle. You can see where the clear plastic is more. Part of that little
side.
So this is looking from above, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
just looking from above. Yeah,
there's the fins. Okay.
Right.
And then this is where the brake.
That's where the blinker
or the blinker, not brake. Yeah, blinker. Yeah.
And then these parts up top, they're like a black piece. And now some of them may have been missing. I'm not sure.
I don't think I ever saw that picture before.
No, I haven't seen a few of these.
So this is interesting here. So Barros described an area I've got his video much later, but he described an area that was missing when Alan Jackson asked him about the dollar size piece.
Right.
These are the two pieces that make up the area that he said was missing. It's roughly 18 square inches that he described. He said a dollar bill size piece, 6 by 3. It just so happens that a dollar bill is like 6 by 3. I wonder if they measured that.
Yeah, I am pretty sure they did.
Yeah. But either way, I tried to orientate it where you could see this piece on the right would fit on the piece on the left.
Like, yeah.
But they're different colors just because the lighting was different when they took the pictures, but it's the same. So if you go to the next piece, I just circled where that next picture, I just circled where that came from. And that's exactly where Barrows said was missing. He said, large chunk was, he said where that large chunk is. So he may have been talking about the piece above it, but it's roughly the same size.
Yeah.
It's
right.
So you could say, well, that's a large chunk, but he did describe it as that. He said, I've got the video. We've all seen it, but that's what was missing. That's two pieces. I don't know why they don't have it. But anyway, that's two pieces. Those are the two pieces that I showed you.
Yeah. Wow.
And then the next slide. Oh, here's what's funny. See how everything's upside down here?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you invert this?
How dare you?
You rotated it.
The State Crime Lab had no clue which direction this stuff should go in. They just took pictures.
It's like, that looks like a taillight to me.
Yeah. Because that's why she said in her testimony, she said, I don't know the orientation. So if you go to the next picture is kind of more of a debunking thing. So a lot of people say, well, but the taillight went inside the housing. You know, when she tapped John's car, she broke the red lens, but it stayed there.
And
it went inside the housing. And, you know, whatever. But there's nowhere for this to go. I mean, you can see how very little on this. This is the side. This is where Barrows would have described what was missing. It's basically touching the black plastic. The front of it is where you would have a little gap. There's no diffusers over here on the right side. It's just even that little part on the right there that looks like it's vented or something. There's no light there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. That's something I did not research. So if somebody
I
wants
don't
to give me
think
a hard time.
Heard them say that. So they're basically saying like it broke and it caved in on itself almost.
Yeah, you haven't heard that one?
I don't think I have.
If KP is listening, hopefully she's on. We go to Facebook sometimes, and there's a guy that says, "Oh, it caved in, and that's why it was still there in the sally port." I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Okay.
Like it magically stayed on, right? Like all these pieces stayed there.
And look at all these sharp little angles, you know.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you a video that really, you know, some people will say that polycarbonate is not sharp. You can't cut skin with.
Good God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
But anyway,
when they're so stupid when they say that.
If you've noticed this whole video, I've not demeaned anyone.
Way to go, Ken.
So give me a few seconds here, okay? Y'all chat about something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Take that down real quick.
Oh, sorry.
This leads me into my next piece. So
Here.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
No problem. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to go through comments?
Yeah, let's go through some comments.
They washed the clothes and applied Razorback DNA.
There's a lot of discussion in the comments about Chloe, the one-jawed wonder dog, and her ability to not leave dog DNA on John's clothing. So
there's another comment. I marked it, but I don't know what that means. But I
can find it.
It's hard to find it. But
was it Inez?
Is it that one?
Yeah. This is another one, Trial World TV. This is another thing they're all obsessed with, is they cannot figure out how the maniac drunk girl backed up at 24 miles per hour and did not smash into Higgins' Jeep. That's like some people's whole argument out of this whole thing. Like, Karen Reed left her taillight at the crime scene. She left her taillight embedded in John O'Keefe's clothes. She told everyone at the scene that she hit him, but people are like, how didn't she smash into Higgins' Jeep? It's just, I don't know, Trial World TV, but she didn't. She didn't smash into his Jeep.
I mean, she stopped before she hit it.
Yeah, she stopped before she hit it. She didn't smash, or maybe she swerved. I don't know, but she didn't hit it. And I mean, that's your reasoning on?
Yeah, that's the square you're going to put all your chips on.
Yeah,
that one.
So,
Okay.
Well, I'm back, but that's what they're going to say. They're going to say things should happen this way without any testing, right? And
right.
I do have some videos that we're going to show here in a little bit that will debunk that. So,
while we're here, just want to say thank you for that.
Yes,
and
thank you, Inez. Thank you so much.
We'll figure out how to.
Great.
We'll put that into Testify. Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Any stickers or anything you guys do, put it right to Testify. And don't forget, if you can donate, www.testify.org.
Yeah. Well, we will.
Defendingthetruth.org.
We will put it there as soon as
defendingthetruth.org. Sorry.
Yeah.
Defendingthetruth.org.
Yeah. And it will be there as soon as Jim figures out how to get the money out of YouTube.
We're going to figure that out, guys.
So the next part, before we go there, before you put it up, the next part really is the things we hear a lot that we argue with people about, that we like try to explain to them, hey, this is whatever. So that's what this next part is. So you're going to see some screenshots from people you may be familiar with. Once again, I will not say anything bad about anybody, but this is somebody that we are familiar with. And if I want to read that, I don't know.
Sure.
I need my reading glasses.
Hang on. I can grab it. Let me get there. Okay, here we go. So this is Rachel at Dated Decoder 11. She says, you are the one constantly bringing me up. Stop talking about me then. Thank you for reminding me why I blocked you to begin with. You are fucking insufferable and absolutely out of your mind. Here is Karen's taillight, all caps, lit up. It wasn't smashed out. Jen McCabe is part of the cover-up. Colin is involved. John was bit by Chloe. Higgins was at Canton PD at 7:52 a.m. It has been so nice not seeing all the trolls for the last week or two. I unblock you, and here they all are again. You are just a troll and will always be a troll.
Okay, so anyway, she posted a picture. And what this is this was never in the trial, but it was a part of the dump of all the evidence. And I guess this was at like 5:30 in the morning when they were leaving.
I like that it's upside down.
Well, what it is she
down,
no,
right?
It's not upside down.
No, I think the sign is upside down.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
But either way, what this is I don't know how to pronounce it, Prerequisite Farms, or it's something on a road that goes
Peckett side or Peckett side.
Yeah,
Farms,
Peckett side Farm. Anyway,
he has a lot of trouble saying that, by the way, as we noticed on Spaces.
So anyway, if you go to the next slide, this is when they were going back from like Jim McCabe's house to One Meadows or something. This is a picture of where the vehicle would be looking back towards where the camera is. You can zoom way in. The camera's kind of in the corner between all those windows. And go to the next slide. I wanted to give you a perspective of how the distance was where this camera was. There you go.
Pequot side. Thank you, girl with an eagle eye. Pequot side.
We're 176 feet from the camera of that where she took. And in John's Ring camera, we're about 33 feet away.
Oh, wow.
So my question is, we have a picture, we have a video already of that
exact
black. And so why go to one and try to make your claim that it's all lit up? And that's why this convinces you that the diffusers are fully intact.
I think you know, Steve.
She's a data decoder.
So if you go to the next slide.
Can I just address this really quickly, or can we
Yeah.
address this?
Sure.
Yeah.
It was a total of so she pulled forward and then reversed, and then it was a total of 84 feet, right? It wasn't that
87 feet. So what it was,
87 feet.
TechStream only picked up 10 seconds worth of data. It picked up 34 feet going forward after she had already begun going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then it picked up 53 going backward.
mm-hmm.
So it was a total of 87 feet that TechStream picked up.
Right.
That's it. So it was 34 forward, 53 backward. So I've got a picture we'll show you in a little bit. She was already going like 11 miles an hour or something when it started.
Mm-hmm.
34 feet. So I'm assuming
And take a look at what Truth is saying. So about the recording of the triggers, this is one of the reasons why what Ken is saying happens.
Right. I see that. Yeah. So this is a little different topic than where we're on, but as far as the TechStream data, I'm assuming she went at least 50 feet forward.
Right.
And I've got a picture. I've got a satellite or excuse me, overhead view of this. So we don't know where she started from.
Right.
Right.
We know it was in the vicinity of the flagpole and the hydrant. I mean, because that's where everyone put the vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
GPS, witness testimony, whatever.
Right.
And I'll get to this, but let's just get to that when I get to it. But
yeah, sorry,
no, but we did address that. But it's I forgot what the question was. Oh, yeah. So and it was actually kind of confusing in the trial because I think even Welcher was like stated a different number at one point in time, but then he went back over it, and it was a total of 87 feet, front and back combined.
Right. It wasn't like the way I was reading his question was, or what he was saying, I think he was saying she backed up 93. He said he didn't have
what it said.
No.
Right. Yeah, he said he didn't have the numbers exact, but yeah, I think he was thinking it was a full 87, like fresh 87 feet backwards,
right, no.
And that's not how it was.
No, that's brought up a lot, and I don't want to call it misinformation. I think people are just misunderstood of the exact numbers. But what you have to do is try to find a starting point, which I kind of did on my own, and I did it based on where the evidence was found, and give or take 10 feet, whatever. But either way, this is Rachel's picture on the bottom. This is as clear as I could get. I tried to help her out here. And you can even, if you zoom in, you can even see it looks very similar to the 507. You could see like
right, the little break.
There is a little gap there.
Yeah.
But she put this up saying this convinced her that the diffusers were fully intact. It lit up like a Christmas tree, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, why would you go to this picture when you have
that one, right? Well, because Colleen Crawford doctored this one and she didn't doctor the other one. Obviously, she turned the "Do Not Enter" sign upside down. Or wait,
I can't tell. Is it?
Oh no, that's right. It says "Do Not Enter."
Right. Do not enter. Yeah, no, it's right. It looks weird for some reason to me.
It looks like it's upside down.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not. I actually went to Google Earth and I was able to pretty much exactly locate where the car was at that point.
Yep.
But anyway, that's my question to her is why go to that one when you have one that's very clear?
Yeah.
So this next one is a person that I've got a little history with. Juke, if you're out there, buddy, I'd love to have you on. But he says, I need help finding the part of your comment where you explain how the diffusers broke. I don't know who he's talking to here. It could be me. And why the driveway video shows a taillight with working diffusers.
Okay.
I don't know why he thinks they're working diffusers, because maybe he's one that says if it lights up any at all, it's working.
Yeah.
But if you go to the next slide, this is where he kind of debunks himself. I didn't even have to do it for him.
I love reading your comments about his
He says the diffusers are 100% are not 100% gone, but they are mostly gone. You don't understand that this horizontal section would be 100% non-functional because the light is conducted from above, right? Which we already went over.
Right.
So if you go to the next image, he says it right there, right? The horizontal part would be dark. Non-functional were his words. That's why I put I didn't put functional. I put damaged. Well, there you go.
The damage. Yeah.
You see the horizontal part's lit up on the one that's not damaged.
Right.
And the horizontal part's gone, and the dark part above it would be the blinker. So the only part that's really functional is attached to the light source up top. He basically told us.
He nailed it.
Yeah. So he does this quite often where I think he forgets some of the dates on here maybe are a few months apart. So he just says stuff that he wants to say at the time to
talking points,
argue, because he just loves to argue. But I don't want to say anything bad about him. I think with him is he really approaches it like he's a defense attorney and he's going to just throw everything out there that he can and say, prove it's not true.
Right.
I think deep down he knows. Oh, there's the other one where it says lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this next one, who wants to narrate Rachel? Because I'm a guy. I can't speak like Rachel.
I can read it.
Okay.
Says she isn't even hitting her brakes. So this is all taillight, glowing like a Christmas tree. Not a broken diffuser in sight.
Okay, go to the next slide because these are all kind of together.
Okay. Is that this one?
No.
No, wait, hold on. I missed something.
Go up. It's the one, the bigger picture.
Right here.
No, left. Yeah, that one. So this is from a different person called Dee Dee. She's Suspicious Sauce. Y'all may be familiar with her.
Yep.
So somebody's got to read that one.
You want me to read it or? I got it up. I'll read it.
Okay.
And here's how we know what he's showing us is edited. If the diffuser was missing, this little section on the left where you can see the gap between the tail light and the lift gate wouldn't light up.
It's not lit up.
No, look what she's circling. So she's circling that little bit. So remember as she's pulling away from the floodlight, how it's dissipating?
Right.
So she takes a screenshot right before that turns black.
Right, when there's a little glow.
Claiming that's maybe Colleen Crawford, I don't know. But so here's a good example where you can just stop something where you want it, and this wouldn't light up. Well, it's lighting up because of that the floodlight is reflecting off that. And that's if she would have taken a picture a second later. Julie, Dee Dee, yeah. But anyway, that's what that is. So it's if you show it a little bit longer, it's black, and if you show it earlier, it's much whiter. Right. So it's that's just what that is. And I get it. People are, early on, you're probably thinking, and this is probably early. This is August. This is a year ago. But yeah, I can see where somebody who's not educated on any of this may say, well, why is that the way it is? Right. So I've tried to explain it, why that is. People still may not believe me. That's fine. But I'm pretty confident that's what it is. Now, the next one is,
let's see. So
you're not on these. You're not on the screen. You have to go to.
Oh.
Stop doing that.
There we
go.
Okay, there we go. So this is back to Rachel.
Right.
This looks like a working diffuser. So once again, she's seeing something that's lit up. It's obviously a different color than what the diffuser would show, but that's that reflection once again.
Right.
The floodlight.
And motion. Combination of those two things.
And in her defense, I can see somebody early on maybe being confused with this and saying, if it's lit up, it's got to be the diffuser, right? But it wouldn't be black a second later. It would stay that way if
Right.
it were the
And
diffuser.
Once the reflection's gone or the light
And I
source.
can't believe.
right. Once the
Yeah.
The
but
floodlight.
also
Rachel,
you can
yeah.
triangulate it with Karen's own statement. So
Right. So the next one we get into Aussie Insider. This is about a 2-minute video. So go ahead and play this if you can
Okay.
understand her accent.
Now, given those specs, I decided let's ask AI to play with those numbers and tell us what it thinks about reversing at 25 miles per hour. According to Microsoft's Copilot, it says even with a reverse gear ratio of 3.785 and a maximum torque of 403 pound-feet at 3,600 RPM, the Toyota LX 570 isn't designed to reverse at 25 miles per hour. The speed achievable in reverse is limited by the gear ratio and the vehicle's engineering to ensure safety and control. The reverse gear is tailored for low-speed maneuvers, and attempting to reverse at such high speed would likely be unsafe and cause mechanical issues. In other words, you're probably gonna break it. Asking the same question of ChatGPT gives us the formula on how to determine if the Toyota LX 570 can reverse at 25 miles per hour given those specifications. The conclusion it draws is that while it is technically capable of achieving 25 miles per hour, you'll probably break it. And just for good measure, I asked Notepad LM AI to generate a discussion based on exactly the same question. Here's how that discussion goes.
Ever gone down those internet rabbit holes? Like, I gotta get to the bottom of this weird car fact.
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Well, buckle up, because today we are tackling one that honestly sounds kind of crazy at first.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Hit me.
Can a Toyota LX 570 really hit 25 miles per hour in reverse?
In reverse. Wow. That's specific. I'm guessing.
Okay. So
No.
this is Aussie Insider. She's got her YouTube page. I just wanted to start with this. So if you go to the next slide, because one of their big arguments is that car can't reverse 25 miles an hour. So therefore, Karen didn't hit John.
Mm-hmm. Is it this one?
So then we go to one of our favorite posters. Karen's vehicle cannot go 24 miles an hour in reverse. So then you go to the next slide, which is a video.
I know where this is going.
And this is ARCA doing a 29 mile an hour impact test. So instead of asking ChatGPT or having these fake people discuss it,
right?
We just saw,
I cannot believe all that time that I can't. I mean, she had equations. Like, what is happening?
She has a whole YouTube video.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the clip also, Ken, of Alan Jackson talking to reporters. It was during the first trial. It was when Trooper Paul was testifying. He came out and they were asking, like, can her vehicle reverse 24 miles an hour? And he flat out told them, oh yeah, her vehicle can go 20, cars can back up 24 miles an hour. That's not the point. I mean, even her own defense attorney has debunked this.
And they're doing a whole YouTube show on it.
Yeah. And I didn't show the Trooper Paul testimony, but he said he tested speeds up to 30 miles an hour in reverse.
I remember that.
Now, if you play this video again, go ahead and play this video again. Now, you got to realize this is 29 miles an hour, right?
Yeah. Let me restart it.
Watch how quickly it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now how many people say at 24 that, oh, there's no way I can stop before hitting Brian Albert's Jeep, right? So
Brian Higgins. Yeah.
Now granted, it's a sunny day, it's dry, I get it.
Yeah.
But this is at 12:30. There's like a, what did he say? A tracker rabbit or something, a cat.
Cat.
So these have anti-lock brakes. They're not going to skid.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, so there's evidence that it can stop fairly quick.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say would have hit the Jeep, well, I don't, obviously not.
Yeah.
But these are just things I pick up on when I'm watching these videos, and I'm like, well, that stopped pretty quick,
But also there's that unfalsifiable thing, right? Well, she, we don't know that she wouldn't have hit the Jeep. Well, no shit. I mean, she didn't hit the Jeep.
She didn't.
So we know
Right.
she didn't hit the Jeep. So yeah, you can say, but wouldn't she have? But obviously she didn't. So that's also a possibility.
But that would convince themselves that she never even, because there's a big group of people that say she never reversed at 24
because
miles.
she said it before the data.
But people are still saying it, and it's
yes.
Her car tells us that she did.
Correct.
It blows my mind.
Right, and it's very possible. It's very possible to stop. And I didn't put these pictures up, but I had all these figures, like from the fire hydrant to the mailbox, how many feet that was. Because my theory is she would have hit John close to the fire hydrant, because that's where the first piece of taillight was found.
Yeah.
There was also, and I got some pictures on here. We'll go over that a little bit later. But let's say that 53 feet in reverse, she was still going in reverse. But let's say that spot was, excuse me, by the hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then she had 90 more feet.
Right.
To stop before getting to the mailbox. And it's like,
yep.
Now we don't know when she braked. We don't have that, would have helped. But either way, I just wanted to show this to show what people are saying out there, that it can't go. And, Glamma is like a very outspoken person out there, that she don't even address this anymore. It's like, oh, well, I was wrong or whatever. But that's my point. A lot of these people are wrong, and they just create a new theory. It's not like they say, okay, I'm wrong and you're right.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Like, they don't ever go back and say, okay, you know what? I was wrong about this. Like, they never admit that. They just move on.
Right.
And there's people that, read their tweets or read Facebook, or, see this stuff on YouTube, that don't actually watch the trial or don't see the correct information come out. And they still are going with these beliefs that were absolutely incorrect.
I mean, Aidan Kearney's first blog has the picture of the young children with Michael Proctor, who everyone knows they're not Jen McCabe's kids now. The person came out whose kids they are. The defense knows. They know who the person is. They know whose kids they are. Karen knew they weren't Jen's kids. He still has that up. So anyone that reads that now, who doesn't know anything about the case, thinks that's Michael Proctor with Jen McCabe's children.
And that's the great thing about X, is you can you could just search a term in somebody's profile page.
Yeah.
And go find things that were wrong about, but anyway, so the next slide, I wanted to give this guy credit because I know KP argues with him a lot on Facebook. It is, nope.
This one?
Nope, up, nope.
Sorry.
Go up one. Up one. So see just right of the video we just watched, that one.
Sorry.
So this is a guy that's on Facebook that is probably equivalent to what we see on X. I won't read all of this, but the metal piece that was sticking out, he claims that was the bezel that was on the lift gate. So you see that little chrome piece that he has pictured?
Yeah, let me zoom in.
He says the piece that makes sense, the taillight bezel with 4 mount tabs. So he claims that was dislodged and sticking out, and someone pushed it.
Where did he get the picture? Oh, he did that himself. He did it himself. Yeah.
So that's the metal piece on the lift gate. So he's saying that that was the metal piece Kerry Roberts was talking about.
Oh my goodness.
Now this guy is something else, but I wanted to give him a little love
shout
here
out.
on the show. Yeah, you can scroll up to his name if you want.
Oh, let me go.
There we go. Yeah, don't forget that name. So if you want some entertainment, you can go to Facebook and
Look for Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. So the next one is we go back to my buddy.
Oh boy.
This was a good one. So this was actually the test after the testimony from O'Hara in the trial. And Jukebox says O'Hara testified that on 129 he found some plastic. How do we know this came from Karen's car? How do we know this was not plastic they harvested from a Chevy in a junkyard?
Oh my God.
Now you see the word harvested is highlighted there. That's because he uses that word a lot. But that's what I did my search with.
Yeah.
But think about it. She's got a Lexus, so he's saying Chevy. So maybe that was just a mistake on his part, but this was 2 days. I think testimony was on a Friday. So this was a few days later. So this was before I think Ashley Valier came on and confirmed that it was the same from the same SUV. So I'll give him a little credit there that maybe he was assuming that he jumps to conclusions a lot before getting all the evidence. He was the one that said the belt was missing.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing he tagged MSP.
Yeah, you notice how he does that?
I'm sure they're very thankful.
I'm sure he probably pinned this one as well. So like the other thing he would do is he would make a comment. So this is replying to somebody, but a lot of times he would make a comment, his own original post, and therefore he could control who replied to it. Because there were a lot of times I would respond to something and he would remove it. So you can do that on your original post. You can remove responses.
Yeah, and, you can hide them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but this was a reply. But I just thought it was funny because it's just a great example of him creating this fantasy of his and wording it in a way to where he's not locked in, but he's like, "How do we know this was not right?"
Right.
They're just asking questions, Ken. Just asking questions.
Yeah, exactly. He's not suggesting anything, not at all.
Mm-hmm. That's what they always say.
The next one. So you can skip by the next one.
Oh, okay.
So go to the one with the red.
Yeah.
News gonna.
What in the world is this?
So this is Aussie Insider. So she had a video about.
It's called Debunked.
It looks like it's coming. The Lexus is pulling out of the gates of hell or something.
I don't even know the purpose of this. I just know that she created this YouTube video.
Map.
Entropy, but it's also entropy. So that's very important.
And supposedly it shows these areas at One Meadows. I think she must have had thermometers like set up around the property.
Obviously.
What is wrong
But supposedly she's like, this is from a video that has been altered. And she could tell by these heat areas that these were altered areas. So,
oh my God,
or something like that. I have no idea. But
John's car is on fire.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is like a half a degree different than the part that's not lit up, or if it's 5 degrees, or I really don't know what the. I'm sure there's a video.
She obviously also doesn't know what entropy means because this is not a closed system. So yeah, no, there are so many problems with this.
Yeah, I think she's basing it on a video only, not the temperature like out there. But I think she's trying to show that a video was manipulated. But she's not an expert in this stuff. I've got some screenshots, not here, but.
Conspiracy theorists, though, conspiracy theorists love this stuff. They love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Google this nonsense and see if this is like an app that you can just apply to your latest murder case where you're trying to prove something.
Well, and you don't know where these videos are coming from. This could come from a third or fourth or fifth source from,
Yeah, right.
she's just pulling it off, whatever. You don't know. She claims it's the
Wait, let
original
me just read you this definition real quick. This will tell you everything you need to know. An entropy heat map is a visual representation of Shannon entropy across a specific domain where color intensity indicates the degree of randomness, uncertainty, or information density. That's all you need to know right there.
Yeah, so
that is nonsense.
But either way, she has these YouTube videos and she has a big following. I know Rachel's one of them. I give Rachel a hard time. I said, she's your God, like you worship her, stuff like that. And she hates that. But
that's who I was thinking of, Nancy. I was thinking of Video Jesus because she likes
very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Video Jesus. I think that's a female as well. But they get on there and they claim everything is like scientific fact and
I'm almost stunned into silence with this one.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so that's the heat entropy map. That's
wow.
Anyway, I was on one of her shows one night and I wasn't on her show. I was like in chat and I was I asked her about the Black Gap. I said, well, I said, you keep saying all this stuff was audited and when she got to the Black Gap, she said she kind of stopped, she kind of hesitated. And she said, oh, that had to be Colleen Crawford.
Poor Colleen.
Of course.
Because everything has an explanation.
Right. Anytime it's something they don't like, they just revert back to, oh, well, it was edited or it was changed or Colleen Crawford or, they if it's something they can't explain away, that's how they explain it away. And that's
when the magic comes
not
in.
how this works. Yeah.
Nancy said,
but anyway, so
Jesus also had a whole thing about how there was a mask hiding the far wall in the Sally Port and people were walking around it like an invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
You are not serious.
No, that happened.
Oh my God. Canton PD didn't even have body cams because they, you know what I mean? But they have an invisibility cloak.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you like trick people, right? You don't have body cams, but you have an invisibility cloak. That's how it works, Jenny. Don't pretend you don't know that.
So anyway, so the 2-minute video before that was Aussie Insider talking about the 24-mile-an-hour backing. So if you go to the next one, it's a video. I'm surprised. I shouldn't be giving her all this airtime. This is a good one here. You're going to like this one.
Oh boy.
No, altogether. Remember back when Aidan Carney was indicted for having done a license plate scan on someone's number to track down the driver of a certain vehicle?
No.
It was actually this very van parked in the driveway at the Albert's house. And the driver was putting things in the back that he was taking out of the house. One of those things was, you guessed it, the carpet. It was in fact Aidan Carney who alerted Team Reed that this was going down, who then immediately got their PI to head out there and grab the carpet. So as far as chain of custody goes, it went from the house to the truck to Karen's temperature-controlled storage facility.
Oh my God.
It's no wonder the McAlberts hate him so much, right?
Oh my, who is that woman?
So she even laid out a chain of custody, how it's like, it's legitimate.
Is that an AI voice?
No, that's her.
Voice, right?
It doesn't sound, I don't know. It does sound.
No, that's her.
AI-ish.
I promise to God, that's her.
Unbelievable.
I wonder where that carpet is.
Well, there was just recently a photo that surfaced of it, like a bunch of rolls of carpet in the back of a truck or something. Did you see that on Twitter this week? It was this week.
I think Rocco posted that picture a while ago after the second trial.
Like a teaser.
Yeah, it was not long
Right,
after the second
for
trial.
the Read Files podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
January of 2026.
Hold on just a second.
Insane.
So the next one is a really good one. So this is
Okay, so that's this one.
It's the one with the feet, yeah. So this is really good here.
Oh my God, I don't even want to know. Okay.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Ready?
He started to slip his shoes off. He's only got one off so far when kapow! Someone smacked him in the head. Not just once, but multiple times. And we know this because we know that the two front orbital sockets were smashed, according to the ME. And it goes without saying that your brain bouncing around inside your head or even swelling doesn't break bone.
So anyway, she made a claim that his orbital
bones
were smashed, which is a lie. That
right.
No one testified to that. There was no orbital facial breaks fractures. And then the next, I just took I was going to get the testimony, but I just Googled it, but there was no. So, here's misinformation. Here's somebody that's got a huge YouTube following.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's like spreading this crap out. There were no nose, orbital sockets, anything that were fractured.
No.
The ME testified, Scordivello, that all the fractures came from the rear.
Yep.
And they radiated and, nothing came from the front. Not the fractures.
Crazy how these people just say things like that. And
but this is
crazy.
this is
It's
somebody
so
who has
sad.
this is somebody that people listen to, and they spread this stuff out.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, there was just never a chance for him to get any justice with what these people did.
Yeah.
Wow.
The next is just a picture of this person, Daisy.
Oh yeah, I've run into Daisy.
So she's posting a picture from Aussie Insider.
Show the metadata.
Metadata.
Oh my goodness. And look what Aussie said. You really, Colleen, you couldn't edit the reflection as well?
Oh my word.
So she's thinking because it's whiter and the reflection is a different color that Colleen edited that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right.
Now what does this show? This shows nothing.
No.
Other than the sight of a freaking vehicle. And I mean, it's just crazy what they try to create to convince themselves. But
it's like they've never seen light before.
Yeah.
It can change, bouncing off different surfaces. And I mean, oh my God.
Well, it shows you could lure them into a van with a piece of gum.
I love it. Your.
Yes.
Posting edited photos.
Yeah.
The metadata. Shut the fuck up.
She's got Jack Me Off on there.
You know that's a woman.
Yeah, it's a woman.
Yes.
That is a woman.
A very, very
so gross.
Nasty woman.
Okay, so this one is one of our favorites. I just wanted to go back early on. These last few slides are just more of a few slides from different people. So if you go down to the part where circled, fun fact, it's fact. This is fact, by the way. This is not. This is back when everybody was saying polycarbonate cannot shatter. But you've got Olivia who thinks she's, I don't know, the end all of end all. She knows everything. But they're spreading this stuff around without knowing anything, right? They just.
I bet I can come up with some specific phrases that if you Google them, you can't find anything. It means absolutely nothing. So
Right. You can Google all you want, but when you show
Sure.
like ARCA doing a test, like the
right
20-mile-an-hour test, they did it. We see it. This
with
one
a
here,
lighter arm than John's arm.
yeah, and then you're going to see this. So go to the next one.
This one,
I
this
kind
is funny though. Check out all
yeah.
these Lexus LX 570s that practically got totaled nearly every part around the taillight, while the shatterproof taillight largely remains intact. I've seen Lexuses that have been rear-ended and the taillight was shattered. I don't know what
It's
she's.
just, yeah, I don't.
She just lies.
I mean, these are early. These are early on. So,
Okay.
but the next one is my buddy.
Oh my God. This is hilarious. I'm sorry.
They should, Jeffrey.
They should. I'm totally buying the next polycarbonate car.
It's indeed shatterproof.
Now he'll claim that, I corrected that. I've since found out that it can shatter, right? But it's not like it changes anything. He just moves on to the next.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Wow.
And then we go to the next one, which is one of our favorites.
Oh goodness, the astronaut lawyer.
Model. Don't forget supermodel. She was a supermodel.
That's what the physics say, guys.
Yeah, the physics. Okay.
I did it, right?
And then there's one more.
Arca did it with a dummy, not even an actual human body.
Right, yeah.
A dummy that was not as dense or
Hey,
heavy as a
Randy's
human
no
body.
dummy.
Oh my God.
Favorite part.
This is one of our other favorites, right? It's got to be below 40 degrees Fahrenheit for it to be.
Got it. Okay.
You have to live. You have to
Alrighty.
be driving your Lexus in Antarctica before you can shatter. your
Yes,
taillight.
absolutely.
But you guys,
Mount
who
Everest.
does this suspicious sauce think she is? Polycarbonate doesn't become brittle until at least -40. Like what? What?
It didn't look -40 when they were doing that test.
No, looked bright and sunny.
But also
so
now she's
crazy.
saying that reversing at 24 miles an hour is a low speed, whereas we just had someone who was saying it's such a high speed it could never be possible per Chat GPT and 3 other AIs.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a different person. This is Dee Dee.
Right.
The other one was Ozzy.
But I'm just saying they don't even consult with each other before they're like, this was a
Right.
low speed. And the other one's like, this is the highest speed ever recorded in reverse, according to Claude GPT.
Was she fighting with Biff? Looks like she was fighting with
Yeah,
Biff.
I know. I just saw that.
And then of course the next one is just a video of the arm breaking the taillight. So it's you know. So anyway, you get these people who say all this stuff, and then you show them this, and all of a sudden they're like, they just ignore it. They're like, well, it still didn't hit him.
And look
I mean,
how it
it's
was right in
exactly
the
what the
middle
yeah, it's
of
exactly
that clear piece with the
Yeah. Now this is an
four
outstretched
cross
arm.
lines.
This is outstretched, hanging with no leverage whatsoever. I mean, part of me
Right,
thinks John.
right.
Part of me thinks John could have like slammed his elbow into that thing. You know, he
Yeah.
could have been mad or something. Who knows? But either way, so this is pretty
bracing.
much. This is pretty much the end of my little presentation, but I do have a lot of other images that,
Amazing.
like, if y'all just want to pilfer through them, like for instance,
Sure.
so just go to that one. Yeah, go to the one on the far
This one?
right. Yeah. So Alan Jackson in the trial, he was talking about these loud diesel engines. If they were out in front of the house, it would wake everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have a little thing pointing north. So the wind was coming out of the north, and it was gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour. So, you know, the wind's blowing south. Well, the ambulance was in front of the other house, and the fire truck was at least 200 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's doing his job. But once again, no one really said where these things were parked, but that's where they were parked.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we have the picture of these people, right? Didn't they take a picture?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and-
where I
and
got it
Hank-
from. Yeah.
Hank definitely hit on that in the second trial where they were all parked because it was pretty much
Right.
in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
mean, you
weren't
can
even-
see it very well from the picture they
Yeah.
took.
But that was part of his, you know,
Yeah.
story. And I think the first trial to Jennifer McCabe was, you're going to hear all that. So So go to go back. Go down. Oh, no, go up.
Yeah, I think sometimes there we go.
So go to the one where the that one. Yeah, the 804 and or the 825 dash cam and
this one?
Yeah, right there. So we talked about this earlier, but that little black line is kind of the divider point between the two diffusers.
Mm-hmm.
You can clearly see that.
Yep.
On the dash cam. And if you look over to the left, that's what it should look like with the red lens on the tailgate. Now, the one on the bottom is much more clear and defined because it's nothing on it and it's from a different picture.
Right.
But the fact you can see that little black line is pretty important to me because that's behind the red lens. That's not part of the red lens. Now, granted, you see it where it's red on the lift gate, but it's
right.
It's just now the taillight area the blinker area has got snow in it. You can see where there's snow there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a combination of snow and kind of a reflection.
Yeah. And it's, just to be clear, it's snow that's packed into the hole. It's like it's not covering, so we can't see the red. It is packed into the hole, basically, or what's missing, that concave little area.
Yeah, there's no red there, guys.
Yeah, there's no red. It's red on the side, but you don't see it. But
you can see the red on the side.
So if you want to, go to the one where it shows the above map of the road.
This one?
Yeah. So what I did here was I went up 50 feet from the hydrant. That's where that line starts.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went straight back. I didn't go to the curve of the road, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's 53 feet to where the hydrant is, which would be close to where that little tree is sticking out over the road. It's a little bit right of that. So that would be 53 feet. That would be from the point she started going backward. And I'm assuming some things here, obviously. I don't know where she started or ended. But look where that blue line is compared to where John's body was found. I mean, so for ARCA to say it's impossible for his body to end up there, well, they have no idea the path of the SUV. I'm just drawing a straight line, assuming because TechStream data didn't show a big steering change. Yeah, we just saw that it jolted at 9 seconds or whatever.
Right.
To me, that could be the curb. I don't know. Something caused her to. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if the tire hit the curb. It had to at some point if she kept going straight back.
Yeah.
But then people would say, "Oh, it didn't leave any tire marks." Well, if the ground.
Or she was a little bit farther out in the street, and then she wouldn't have had to curve it, right? If she was a little bit away from the curb.
The steering didn't show much of a steering change, so.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If she's more farther into the lane, she wouldn't have had to have a steering change to go back that way.
Well, but I think when you're reversing at 24, you're not paying attention to steering. My belief is a tire hit the curb. My belief is she may have gone up in the yard with a tire. Because where his body was makes perfect sense there. I think if she were further out in the street, it makes it a little bit harder to. But we don't know, so you can't assume. And that's something ARCA never did. They never tested a vehicle close to the center line, close to the curb, and here's another one with the Commonwealth. You could have got a car, reversed it, and you could have seen TechStream data very similar. I mean,
right. If you had run it into the dummy like ARCA did, and then view the TechStream event and see if that anomaly where she obviously hit something would happen when she hit John.
Or even the Commonwealth, for instance. Let's say they didn't even hit a dummy. Let's say they just got the car and backed it up on Fairview from 50. It just created some numbers, because to me, crash reconstruction is not only one thing. It's not just looking at the injuries and then the damage to the car. It's all of this. It's backing it up. It's seeing where the evidence
debris
is.
Field.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
all of it.
It's doing all of that, and then you can create something like this and say, here's what we think happened based on where everything was found. This little jolt in the steering we think could have been from the tire hitting the curb or whatever. My point is,
hitting John
or hitting him. Yeah. I mean, or both. You know, it could be. But the point is, where the body was, is you can't rule that out. You can't say, because ARCA did. They said his body shouldn't have been there. I'm like, well, how do you know that? Because you don't know the path. Yeah. But this would be the right side tires going in reverse. So the left side tires would be more towards the, you know, middle. I mean, this is strictly just the right side of the car going in reverse.
Is the person here that was questioning all this, are they still here?
I think they left.
Oh,
I think he left.
I mean, we don't know because the text string data ends, right? We don't know exactly when she stopped, but look at that.
It's just a path. It's just a path going straight back with the right side of the vehicle going in reverse. It's not the center of the vehicle. It's not the left side. It's the right. This would be the right tire.
Right.
The two right tires. If she was on the street fairly close to the curb.
Right.
It's actually inside the white line, so it's, you know, maybe a couple of feet from the curb, but it just goes to show you that this is a possibility. It's not something that can be eliminated. ARCA shouldn't eliminate something like this, and the body would only be a few feet away, you know, and let's say she did go up in the lawn and but you still got two tires on the road. And then I think Matt McCabe's testified there was some swirly marks in the road, like in front of the house. So
yeah,
you know, whatever, this is the stuff I look at to say, you know, this is possible more than improbable. I'd say it's more probable, but because you know, she wasn't on the other side of the street. I highly doubt.
No,
she was pulling away and in a rage.
Although I have no doubt she could have made her voice carry from the other side of the street, but I don't think she was on the other side of the street.
Yeah, but that's 50 feet forward where that line starts from the fire hydrant.
Interesting.
I just picked the fire hydrant as a starting point just because it's there, and
it's so
I know the car was somewhere there.
Spot on.
Now the next one is we talked about the bumper tap.
Here, this one.
Yeah. Now this is something I learned very early on, because I used to like dig deep. I can blow that up. I used to really dig deep into the stuff, and I'm like, I probably saw this, I don't know, real early on in the first trial. And no one really talked about any of this. Because if you remember, the Commonwealth was looking at the left side of the vehicle by the tires where, and I'm like, God, how could they not see this? I mean, because this was like literally seconds after she pulled away. You can still see the red brake lights lit up. And it just shows you where it hit. And then the second trial, obviously, that's what Welcher was showing where it made contact. But there's nothing up top. I mean, if she broke that taillight, you would see a ton of snow moved up there. And
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing this after the second trial. It must have been you that was pointing it out.
It was him.
Oh, God. I used to, this was the first trial. I'd go on Kevin's show. I'd be in chat, right? And I'm like, hey, Kevin, because I was sending pictures. And I'm like, show this, show this, show this. And he never did. And because to me, this was kind of important because it shows where the bumper hit. And of course, in the second trial, they did show that, you know,
but I remember seeing it after the first trial and being like, what didn't they show
I know.
this? Oh my God.
It's so important.
Well, this whole 507 ring video has a ton of evidence that, like I said, early on, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was, I'm like, man, they didn't show this. They didn't show this. They didn't show this. I'm like, when are they going to show any of this stuff?
I know.
Let me see here. The next one's not really important. Oh, so go two more. So go the one with the Sally. Yeah, that one. So this was later from a evidence dump that everybody said, oh, he's pulling into the Sally port. So they didn't show this in the trial. But that's when they were pulling into the Sally port at 5:36 p.m.
I remember this picture.
And this was never part of any evidence, but it was obviously in evidence. They just never used it. But that's the same thing.
Yep. I remember also Rachel posted this, but she posted like 2 seconds later when they hit the brakes.
Yeah, when you hit the brakes, right.
Yep.
And it was all lit up. And that was my question to her. I took a screenshot of this, that portion, and asked her why she didn't show that, why she showed 2 seconds later when the brakes were on. But
yeah, so, and you know, I could have showed that, but that would explain, well, that's why it's that way, because the brakes are on.
yeah.
Could have been fingernails on John O'Keefe's arm and broken taillight. Yeah, it could have been, but I don't think so.
If you had 36 fingers, maybe.
Yeah, they're obviously dog claw marks, not fingernails. So the next one is my little rendition of
This one?
Yeah. So the reason, you know, some people say, well, the plow would have moved the taillight pieces. I'm one of these that don't think the plow, because it was a few feet off the curb.
Right.
I really think he was hit in this area.
Yeah.
Maybe on the road or something.
I can't say.
Oh.
Because the hat was found where I got that circle. That's where the hat was found. It's right in front of that bush.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the other taillight piece early on was by the electric box.
Yeah.
So he had to be hit somewhere, you know, whether it be on the road or, you know, somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
And then his shoe was found a little bit further to the right, wedged up against the curb.
I remember thinking too, way back when I was looking at these pictures for the first trial, when his arm, when, you know, everybody, there was all this talk of the dog and stuff. Do you see that bush there?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not there anymore. So all the new pictures that come out, the bush isn't there. There's just like so many, I mean, all those things around there. You just have no idea, you know, what he fell into. You know, I mean, I think it's taillight, but I'm just saying there's so many other things.
Right.
I just always wondered when I first, like when I was brand new, saw these photos for the first time, I really wondered, because he had that laceration on the back of his head, if his head actually might have hit the fire hydrant, you know, before he was. And then, you know, you can see the momentum would carry him, so his hat would be off shortly after that. I really wondered about that, because it was obviously such a violent you know,
I mean, that's
contact with something very, very hard. I really wondered about the hydrant.
I thought about it for a little bit because it was a very solid, hard object.
Right.
I'm not sure that's what happened, but I mean,
yeah, it's hard to know.
Go there early on, but to end up 25 feet further up there, I think he had to be.
Well, but I mean, she was going 24 miles an hour. I mean, your body, you know, you travel in the direction of the impact, and I don't know.
Right. So the next picture is
the ground's so hard, though, right? Like just even from watching the Lindsay Clancy trial, like think about that. She landed on her body. I mean, she's paralyzed, right? Like it's you know, you
24 miles per hour is
and 2 stories is not really that high.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I mean, she broke her spinal. It's, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his head.
Yeah. It depends on how you land and all that, but still, it's
there's too many. Put it this way: early on, y'all were asking me how I got involved in this thing, and I was trying to figure out the best way to figure this out if I were like a prosecutor, right? And I'm like, I would stay as far away as I could from crash reconstruction where it involved the arm and the taillight. I would say that's because you would have to run so many tests, like we're talking right now. There's just so many options that I don't think you can prove it with just that. And I don't think you can disprove it with just that. I think it's like if that area there, if you're backed into that, you're going to lose.
No, yeah, exactly. And then any, like you said, any tests you do or whatever, you have to turn over, and then whatever doesn't work, they're, you know, talking about it for 10 years.
So
it's hard.
That's when I said, hey, I'm going to look at something that I can have concrete that I know for a fact. And then it leaves me with, like I said, you know, it had to happen before 507. But anyway, stuff like this, I don't know. We all brainstorm, and I'm like, where was the path? Now, the next little picture this kind of shows you the SUV on the far right.
I'll come back to that comment I put up there. Okay.
So you can kind of see the curve of the road here.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a little bit more than what you see on the satellite view up top. But the reason I circled that little mirror is that's sticking out pretty far. You would think if it hit his head, it might break, but it's in the line. That could hit something. So I just wouldn't rule that out. I mean, you could hit the edge of it with a part of your body. I don't know, but it would also thrust you back a little bit if it did hit you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that's in the line of fire, I guess I would say, at 24 miles an hour. And if the side swipe, I mean, it's. And then, of course, you look at the spoiler up top. That's about the same height. You know, there's just so many things that we don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they use those. They act like because we don't know exactly down to the second every move that John made, that that's reasonable doubt. That's not reasonable doubt. There's very few cases where you know the answer to every possible question you could think of. That doesn't count as reasonable doubt, though. I mean, you know, we could ask, did aliens come down that night? And you know what I mean? And we're not going to have
basically do, right? That's how far they go.
Yeah.
To make it anything but
the
most obvious answer.
Right.
So go back to where all the pictures and videos. I'm going to skip way.
You want me to keep going down?
So go up a little bit. I'm going to start showing some of the videos. So go to see where the solar eclipse is on the left. Go to the one to the right of that.
This?
Yeah, right there. And this is a video. So just we'll watch this video.
All the lights are red. That's the brake light. They're just so
that's with the diffuser
red,
on.
Clearly red. See what happens when I smash the diffuser. I don't want to. The red is almost a translucent red. So watch, I'll take the diffuser part out of it and the light disappears. It's because all the light is up at the top and it shines down on that clear piece and the bubbles makes it reflect.
So that's that video.
Did he take that one down? You said he took some of these down, right?
I think he did.
So he just bought a ton of taillights and just did a bunch of videos like that?
So go to the next one. I'm not sure what that one is. It's probably the same one. You can stop it if it is. Oh, you look at all the red plastic over there that he broke off.
There's no red on this taillight anymore. Even the side marker light is so bright that it looks white. As you can clearly see, it's red. All the lights are red. All right.
So there you go. That's the same thing.
There, look at the taillight.
Mm-hmm.
That's all broken out right there. That's broken. When I move the diffuser, watch the light. Now the light's gone because there is no bulbs back there. The only thing that makes the lights go down the taillight are these plastic pieces that have the bubble. Without that, the light does not go down the taillight.
So he was actually arguing why it wasn't white, because if you remember in pretrial hearings, they were saying it was a white bulb.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he said, oh, there's no white, right? So but he's really proven something else, when he does this. And but anyway, the next one's pretty cool.
This one?
It's that one. This is kind of funny if you listen to it real close.
I've got it looking just like the one the Commonwealth is in possession of. Even though I've had a couple of mishaps, this plastic is so hard to break that when it finally does snap, it shoots off. And I had one piece shoot off and hit me in the face. And it cut my nose, made my nose start bleeding. So that was fun. But I've got the light pretty much, or the one in the Commonwealth's possession, it's pretty much the same as that now. So I'm going to start testing it here in a little bit.
So if you heard him, it piece broke off and cut his nose.
Yeah, that's interesting. That happened to somebody else, Karen Reed said. Cut a piece of glass in his nose.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Now the next one really gives you a good perspective of just how this thick plastic is. Look how sharp it is.
Yeah.
So sharp.
Yeah.
Look how thick it is. That is a thick taillight.
Karen Reed doesn't think that can cut anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you notice when he was working with it, he was wearing gloves. He was wearing them so he wouldn't get cut.
Oh my God.
It's not sharp, Ginny. It's dull. Doesn't cut.
I mean,
he's just wearing gloves so that he doesn't transfer dog DNA, Ginny. I don't know what you're on about.
Now, this guy did a lot of work. I got to give him credit for. Now, obviously, he had a little confirmation bias, and he was trying to get to a result that he desired, which is not how science works. But this next one I've posted a few times on the bottom left. This is not a Lexus, but it is a something I found that I thought was fairly relevant, I guess.
Oh, look, a bumper hit it.
Oh, wow. Bumpers work. That is crazy. Why does Costco have all those little poles outside, I wonder?
That's what bumpers are for.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But that shattered a taillight, but not the pole.
Right.
So,
yeah,
so when you get a
concrete pole.
Yeah. So when you get the argument where someone will say, yeah, but there's no way an arm can go through that and break a diffuser and
right. Just believe ARCA.
But there's no way bumping into a car at 1 mile an hour can do it. So
right.
It had to be one or the other.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. Right. So
yeah.
Anyway, so that's another one I did, and these are just I get bored. Now the next video is Turtle Boy. So listen to this.
Oh boy.
Right here, that's an intact taillight. That little piece right here, that's an intact taillight. And this part right here, the sail looking thing, never really lights up. If you zoom in on this, well, that's the same fucking piece right there. Right, that's the piece. That's what she sees. Okay? So, and she says, below is a photo of the taillight taken February 1st while parked in the Sallyport at Camp Police. There is no longer red plastic covering the horizontal light in the bottom. See what I'm saying there? See this piece right here? You guys see this? That's the point. This right here is this right here. It's lit up. That means it's still on the taillight. That's her aha moment that she's talking about crying in the kitchen for. This.
Oh my
so that's Karen Reed telling him why she knows.
Right.
So what we just did for the last hour shows you that's going to light up with no red lens.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know if he's watching, but
I'm sure he is.
Are you going to change your story? Because now anyway, it's just stuff like that.
Yep. That's
I
those
don't,
little dots, little lights we saw.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple more on there, but as far as the taillight goes, that's kind of what my project has been for a while, to tell myself that if this was planted, it had to be taken before 5:07 a.m. Because after looking at
Right.
all this, if this juror was watching, and hopefully he was, at least, maybe somebody will say, yeah, I was wrong or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know how
It's
anyone
so good.
argues
It's
this, but we'll see.
So good. And a few people asked in chat if there would be any way you could, I forget what one of them asked. I think
Somebody asked if they could Google Drive the
if you
photos.
could put all that. They would love to like have all that or be able to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be on this YouTube show, so they can.
True.
But I mean, I can probably. I do have. Well,
I can
obviously,
share that folder. I can share that folder to our Dropbox.
I think that's what. Yeah, they would love that. That's what she asked.
I'll just take everybody else off and leave. It's in our forensic room Dropbox. So I'll just.
To be honest with you, I didn't want to disparage anyone. I didn't want to say anything bad. There are some people I've talked to that are still on the fence that I have some respect for, that we email each other, and if they're watching, then hopefully at least ask me some questions if you want. I mean, I'm not going to be biased in a way to where I'm trying. Like I said, I didn't do this with the purpose early on of trying to push me in a certain way. I was just doing it whatever way it pushed me. I was going to go. And if to this day, if somebody can show me something that shows there's a cover up, hey, I'll listen. But this just makes it to where that before 5:07, it had to be taken. And I just don't think anyone believes, well, there's a few people that will make something up, but so anyway,
you're so thorough.
Yeah,
what an amazing job you've done.
Thank you so much.
And it really proves the case.
Well, to me, it did. I do get in some arguments with some of our own that will say, because we all have something that convinced us, right? This may not be it for each one of you. You may have something that, you do a video on or whatever, but it's, to me, this kind of puts someone in a corner where it says, okay. And now I will say there are some people I talk to that say, but the injuries. And I'm like, I get it, if that's where you're stuck, but it's hard to, you can't prove or disprove based on that. And I should have posted the video of the guy with the car coming at him. Y'all may have seen that one.
Well, even Rentschler, I mean, they have to remember, even Rentschler, I think we played this. Did we play it last week, the week before? I can't remember. He conceded that, a bump, a tap, that type of strike could cause the injuries that John had.
Yeah, and we've all got our theories. And mine, I'll go ahead and share it. I think he had to have a bent elbow. I think he had to create some force to get in there and do what he did to break that metal piece. I think, but it also, the car's going, it's moving.
Right.
So as it's exiting the taillight, it's going to, any piece that's still there is going to drag across that arm. And there's obviously some other pieces that are there. And, there's obviously some sharp objects that cut that arm. And we can't sit there and reconstruct, it's hard to say, well, this piece did it or this piece did it. You just can't do it.
Right.
And I think maybe part of his clothing got caught on something and drug him a little bit. Maybe that side mirror pushed him back. Whatever it was about 25 feet.
Yeah.
20 or 25 feet, which is easily propelled when you're hit by something 24 miles an hour.
Right.
But
and
that's
we
what I
can't
think.
Forget the microscopic pieces that were found in his
clothing
that were consistent with her taillight.
Right.
And there's no other way to get those in there.
So there is one person, and I go back and forth with on this microscopic term. In forensic data world and forensic state crime lab world, the term microscopic means anything less than 1/16 of an inch.
Yep.
Which she described a lot of these pieces as less than 1/16 of an inch.
Mm-hmm.
It means that you just can't look at it with your eye and tell what it is.
Right.
You can see something's there, but you got to look at it with a microscope to determine what it is, you know?
Yeah. We always make it very simple on this show. We say it's microscopic, which means they had to use a microscope.
Right, exactly. And this with this argument with this particular person, he goes back to the, you know, whatever definition he wants to choose.
Right.
But she had to use a microscope to do her analysis of figuring out what it was. You couldn't do it with the naked eye, so she had to use a microscope, and she figured out that it was the same material as the taillight. So
I think, you know, they like to pretend, a lot of the Free Karen Reed people, mostly because that's what her defense attorneys pretend, right? Is that, you know, John O'Keefe was not hit by that car, that they're all thinking and pretending that she slammed into him and, you know, full impact, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, and I get it. If I'm a defense attorney, I get it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, you got to prove this through crash reconstruction. That this is how he got it. I would do that. And that brings up reasonable doubt. But that's, you know, we could sit here all day and play the hindsight game, you know, because if you're a Commonwealth guy, you could train the jury to think that's bullshit, right? But,
I think Hank mentioned that in his, I think it was his closing, it might have even been his opening, about, you know, 20 people can get hit by a car. I mean, I watched the Darrell Brooks trial, and there were injuries from none to a broken leg, to a broken arm, to a bruised something, to death. I mean, it's just, and people know that, you know, Free Karen Reed people know that. They all know that. You know, we're not suggesting that she backed her car up and just, you know, head on hit John O'Keefe. It's not what anyone's saying.
Right.
Yep.
But no, I appreciate y'all having me on, and
that was great.
You're amazing, Ken.
Nah, I'm just somebody who's curious and like figuring things out, and this case got me to doing that. You know, others I haven't really dug. The Murdaugh thing's kind of fun because there's some digital stuff there, but
you're gonna get another swing at it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how they're going to fight that up.
I am too. I'm so curious to see what they're going to do. You know, whatever.
The first trial, they're like, they didn't know about this, you know, voicemail, right?
Right.
And they learn about it in the middle of the trial, and all of a sudden they got to try to spin out of that, right? And
that was so shocking.
But then, so I'm kind of curious.
I want to see if he testifies again.
I know.
He can't.
Oh, that was such a huge.
Oh, he was so bad.
It was horrible.
It was that was something else to watch him. I'm a trial nerd, so every once in a while I'll watch that again, and it was just.
It gets worse every time you watch it.
Good.
So awful.
So good.
It was like him and Nick Mew, and then who was that crazy little bald guy that killed the journalist? They were like back to back to back, and I was like, why are these people testifying in their trials? They are so terrible.
Yeah.
It's those people that just love to talk, and they just, you know,
they think they can
the prosecutor's like, go ahead.
Yeah, they think they can convince anyone of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, if anybody has any thing they want to ask me, or feel free to shoot me a message on X, or you can even probably respond to this YouTube show on the comments.
Sure. Yeah.
I think these comments here won't be there, but they will let you add after the fact.
Yeah, you can just comment on the live and we'll send them to Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
I would think, you know, this will be a full death suit, right? Is proving.
For sure.
You know, that's a huge thing, is proving, you know, it's pretty much over after that. If you prove that she never taillight at 5:09 in the morning and 8:22, I mean, Michael Proctor was in bed.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So and I will, I probably won't do it tonight, but I will No, I won't do it tonight. I'm not
No,
gonna
go to
promise.
bed.
I will do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I'll
we've
put
been-
this
this is,
Dropbox on our.
It's like
on
almost
our,
3 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a space. I'll do a spaces right now. Just
No, do it tomorrow when we wake up. Do it tomorrow.
But yeah, I'll put this. I'll put the Dropbox on our Twitter. I'll put it on our Facebook.
Awesome.
The link, so you guys will have everything, and I'll tag Ken just in case you want to leave him any messages there too. So
yeah,
awesome, Ken. Thank you so much. I know it's it's a huge thing to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like this, especially just with all of the crazy people. Sorry.
Well, I didn't put my face on, but I think some people.
No, it doesn't matter. Still, it's still a big deal.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot. You
All
guys have a
right.
great
All
night.
right.
Everybody have a good
You
night.
too.
Everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.